Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. We are 5 days away from my Wrestlemania debut. It is Tuesday, March 29th, 2022. This show begins now. Yeah. Can't thank you enough for joining us here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. I believe we're breaking some news at some point today.
Whoa. Okay.
Not for us. It's for somebody else. A family friend of ours.
Of course.
Breaking some news for a family friend of ours. Can't wait for that. There is some news around the NFL that we will certainly cover, and we have two guests today. Darius Butler will join us in about 17 minutes, and Sam Roberts.
Whoa!
Yeah, Sam Roberts came up in conversation yesterday because although AJ Hawk has been a massive fan of his because he listened to the show
Jim and Sam.
for a long time on Sirius XM. AJ has never gotten a chance to meet Sam Roberts. We saw him on Friday in Brooklyn. I've known him for a few years. He knows nothing about the sports, but knows a lot about sports entertainment. Cannot wait to chat with him about all things happening in his life. And also, AJ gets to meet somebody that he's been a fan of for a long time.
That's right.
Nice.
Look what we're doing here.
How about it, huh?
How about us?
Unbelievable.
I always try to look out for people, and the fact that I'm getting, like a AJ Hawk dream moment here live on the show in about an hour and 11 minutes.
Okay.
That should be absolutely fantastic. The Toxic Table is here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. NFL news kind of stinks right now.
Yeah, it really does. And I tell you what, the more days that go on, the Packers still don't have any receivers. It's starting to get a little unsettling.
Still a lot of free agents out there. Still a lot of big-time players. Allegedly, the internet is saying that the Colts have made offers to Jarvis Landry and Tyrann Mathieu.
Whoa.
The internet said it, not me. I believe it came from @Colts Militia on Twitter or on Instagram. Who do they know?
Everybody.
I do not know.
Yeah.
They could
Don't
just
they
be,
know is
they
better.
could be making that up, but those are just two names out of the entire list of free agents that are still available. So don't be too bummed if your team hasn't made a splash play yet in free agency. We're in the draft process now. There's going to be a lot of OGs still around afterwards. I mean, it is getting a little bit uncomfortable for some of our, like, my team has 0 weapons right now.
Right.
None.
Now, Michael Pittman Jr., Michael Strahan, and there's other guys that I'm forgetting their names right now, and I apologize. Okay, I was actually going to say one person's name, but I didn't know if I had the name 100% right or not.
So-
Didn't want a Julian Blackman situation
Sure,
with the show because the
absolutely.
show's already on thin ice over there with
Right.
young players that, we don't really know as well as we should.
Yeah.
Correct.
Sorry.
That's right.
Sorry.
With that being said, make the fucking playoffs.
Exactly.
Okay? All right.
And we'll know you're not.
Boston, no, that's, see.
No, not
Julian
Julian.
Blackman's a hell of a player.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
But, everybody,
I mean, everybody else.
you just need to relax.
Okay.
I am a Colts supporter, but we don't have any weapons that we
No.
brought in that are like splash hires or anything like that. T.Y. Hilton's still a free agent. I mean, there's a lot still going on for a lot of our teams. We'll keep an eye on the situation. Ian Rappaport, though, is hobnobbing down there in West Palm
Yeah.
Beach. Let's not expect any breaking news to come from him at all that is worthy of a positive conversation on this show. Although there is some stuff coming out of the league meetings. At Tone Diggs is here, one half of the Hammer. Dahn, Cowboys. Tone, it is great to see you. You look fantastic.
you.
Cannot wait for the next edition of T4, Tone's Tasty Tournament Talk, because the graphic that we just had created, top of the line. We'll get into that at some point. But the news coming out of the league meetings right now is fascinating because everybody's there. Every GM is there, every owner is there, every coach is there, except for Mike McCarthy.
That's right.
He's working.
Big Mike ain't got time for the fucking league meetings. Mike Tomlin, king of the pro day, goes to these league meetings because he's missing a couple pro days and going to these league meetings, which, by the way, why would you have every GM, coach, owner, everybody be at a place while there is actual pro days happening for the next generation of the NFL? Is that real or is that not real?
Seems a little short-sighted for sure.
Are there pro days happening right now?
Yeah, Sam Howell was yesterday while the meetings were going on.
So if you're a school scheduling the pro days, probably try not to do it
Correct.
during the league meetings. Liberty even knew that.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did.
Liberty was like, no, let's not do it. I don't know what's going on anywhere else, but this is kind of stupid. I think that's stupid.
It's
Very.
It's just hitting me now that I think that's dumb, but nonetheless, they'll figure it out with film and Zoom and everything like that. Mike McCarthy not able to make it because of the amount of studying he's doing to make that team better.
That's right.
Mike Tomlin actually said, I hate being here. I'd rather be at a pro day, but it's kind of just a part of it. Bill Belichick's there. All the new head coaches are there. There's a lot of chitter chatter. There's media settings where they sit down at a table all by themselves, the coaches. They have orange juice and water, and then there is a scrum around them, and then they bounce around table to table, and they are just to sit there for like 45 minutes and answer every question. So there is some information coming out of the league meetings. For instance, Jimmy G probably going to be a Niner next year.
Yeah.
Now, none of that makes sense to any of us because we heard Jimmy G say goodbye to the Niners faithful.
Yeah.
And we heard the front office basically say, Jimmy's been great for us. We've been very thankful for Jimmy. We just have to go in a different direction. Ian Rappaport's reporting that the 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan here at the NFC Coaches Breakfast, which is what we just talked about. I don't know if any of them eat, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. Says he sees a scenario where Jimmy Garoppolo is on the roster in 2022 and acknowledged the surgery delayed trade talks. As for if both Trey Lance and Jimmy G are on the roster, Shanahan declines to name a starter. Okay. So we have to pick through all the coach speak, and we don't want to give up any leverage on any potential trades or anything like that. This is vastly different than what we just saw a couple weeks ago. Before the shoulder surgery, which none of us knew was coming, I wonder if the rest of the NFL, who maybe had their eyes on the Italian handsome quarterback for the Niners, didn't know it was coming as well. He gave a thank you goodbye. They gave a thank you goodbye. Then it kind of moved on. No trade talks. We always thought he was going to be a domino that was going to fall. Obviously, whatever's going to happen with Russell Wilson came out of nowhere. Then Matt Ryan is on the move. And then with Deshaun Watson's on the move. We're like, oh, Jimmy G's got to be next then somewhere because there's a lot of teams that need a quarterback. That did not happen. The shoulder surgery allegedly spooked some folks, but now it's like, why would they let him go? Like, why not? They can do another year of the whole Trey Lance learning how to play NFL quarterback. We don't know if he needs to or not. We're just telling you what could happen. And he leads that team yet again that is already stacked and packed and ready to go. They haven't been in any other conversations with any other veteran quarterbacks, I don't believe. I'm not 100% sure. But they are Trey Lance or Jimmy G, and nobody wants Jimmy G right now, and they're not going to get good trade value. Why would they give him up, I guess, even though just a couple weeks ago it seemed like he was as good as gone?
Yeah, especially now that the carousel seems to have stopped, because even Carolina this morning or yesterday morning, Matt Rule was saying, like, we expect Sam Darnold to be in the running for our starting quarterback position. So
we think he's going to be playing better football.
Yeah,
we love Sam. We've always loved Sam.
So they might be out of it.
We looked at like 7, 8 different quarterbacks. But
like for the Niners, for a guy as good as Jimmy G is, I guess you could cut him, but if you don't know what Trey Lance is yet, you might as well keep Jimmy G around. In worst case scenario, like week 4 or 5 next year, some big quarterback gets hurt, and now he's of supreme value. But say they're 4-0 at that time with Jimmy as a starter, what do you do then?
Well, you keep Jimmy as a starter,
Yeah.
I think, if that's going on. If they go into the season, he's the starter, I think only an injury would turn to Trey Lance, right? I'm fascinated by it all because all these teams that have these quarterback situations, Matt Rule, who I guess was tearing down the dance floor.
That's a great worm.
There is a report. I don't know if he did the worm or not. That was Christian Pulisic, but Christian Pulisic did a little half-ass worm, but at least he gave it a go. Scored 3 goals. You do whatever you want to do. But allegedly, Matt Rule was tearing down the dance floor last night.
Wow.
Says at Joe Bucks fan. Unexpected happening of the night. Panthers head coach Matt Rule owning the dance floor at the NFL owners meetings night party. Matt Rule. Listen, don't get it twisted. He has aged like a president since becoming a head coach in the NFL.
Yes.
He's gotten paid $70 million guaranteed for the next 4 years. He's going to be able to continue to collect that money. He left Baylor. He was just a ball coach, winning, having success. Now he's got the stresses of who's his quarterback, businesses, negotiations, new stadiums, new owners, everything. And we thought this was maybe killing him. We thought maybe he was dying.
Yes.
Well,
He's not dying. He's living his best life. This guy's on a dance floor doing his goddamn thing. What are you saying well for?
I'm worried about his liver because I think you look at, his weight. I think Coach Rule's maybe hitting Grandpa's cough syrup a little bit too hard, and that's why he's having such a good time on the dance floor.
There's
I hope
rumors he
that's not
lost
the
his
case.
luggage.
Well, there is rumors of that strictly because
So
of
he
how
definitely lost some found the clothing.
well, it's strictly because of how he looked. That is happening. We don't know if that's real or not, or if that's a shot.
I read about it. No, I was reading about it.
Okay, all right. Well, Zito, it's in the calendar. Put it in the calendar. Let's lock that in. Ty, mighty rich of you to be the one. Isn't that Foxy? Isn't that fine? Oh, you too, Foxy. You fucking booze. Yeah. So
I love the dance floor. I love Matt Rule because of this now.
We would like to let Matt Rule know that if he is just boozing all day, every day to drink away the sorrows of being an NFL head coach, he's not the first. He won't be the last, but we are worried about him.
That's right.
And this might have been the first time that he's heard music.
True.
In the last 18 months.
Lost
Literally.
He lost the music.
He might have lost. He might just be in that film room getting boozed up all by himself.
Yeah,
right.
So the first time that he was boozed up and he heard music, he's like, wait a second.
What is
About this.
Matt Rule goes out. What does that dance floor look like? Unless McVay's out there doing power push-ups, I feel like there are some old moves coming out on that dance floor.
Yeah, I assume Matt Rule has a diesel truffle shuffle. I bet he's taking his shirt off. He's going bananas, and it's nice to see that, Matt Patricia's legacy is being carried on by Matty Rule losing all of his shit.
Everybody close your eyes. Just imagine this. Matt Rule, Bill Belichick, Coach McDaniel, and Cliff Kingsbury. 2 hops this time. Oh, my God. That would be awesome. Anyways, Matt Rule was certainly moved on from Sam Darnold. Certainly moved on from Sam Darnold publicly. Hey, we're in on everybody. This owner, we're going to pay anybody anything as long as we can get a winner here in the Queen City. Sam Darnold didn't say shit. San Francisco 49ers. Hey, Jimmy, you might as well go tell everybody goodbye now, right? I mean, we're kind of moving on. You saw what we did. We traded up last year, even when they publicly traded up and made a pick. And then this year, hey, this is what we're doing. We're going to move on. Jimmy G hasn't said shit. I think that is why the Baker Mayfield thing is only going to continue to grow amongst other front offices, because there are quarterbacks in the same exact time as Baker Mayfield's in that are handling situations much better than they feel he would be. Although I am a human that also wears... I would tell somebody to go fuck themselves, and if they were doing this, it's like, well, you don't deserve me now. I would hopefully put myself in a better position that they wouldn't want to do that, but we are where we are, and injuries happen and everything like that. But I think that goes against Baker, what's going on. Like, if they go back to Jimmy G, and he's a starter next year, and he's at training camp, like, leading the boys and everything like that, and then Sam Darnold, same exact thing, it's going to be like, these dudes were publicly outed at quarterback by these teams. And now Sam Darnold, much different than Jimmy. Jimmy's had a lot more success. Sam Darnold's been thrown away already once before. Not that he's, kind of, the Jets stunk.
Yeah,
right.
Panthers stink whenever he's in. I mean, he might be a guy, who knows, maybe it takes him 6 years to graduate into a good quarterback, and he's getting the opportunity to do all that. So more power to him, although not a lot of people are happy about it.
No.
But Jimmy G's had a lot of success over there. He's gotten paid a lot of money over there. That's the difference with Baker, is Baker hasn't been paid yet, so I get it. But these public situations with these guys potentially coming back, I don't know. That's incredible mental toughness and a great ability to do business and separate personal from business, because Jimmy knows if he's starting for the Niners, that team's a good fucking team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's getting paid a lot of money. I think it's like $25 million or something like that. He's got a good contract, got a great team. He's probably pumped for that opportunity, even though bygones be bygones in the past. You guys said you want to move on 2 different years. You trade up, you want to move on. Last year, you had me say goodbye. That's just something I think that other teams look at whenever they look at what Baker did and then what everything else is happening. It's like, hey, not only is it every other position in the NFL competition gets brought in and we decide if you want to do it, but also in the quarterback position and a couple different teams. Right now it's happening and you're going public and everything like that. Once again, I understand why he's doing it. I'm just telling you why other front offices are probably like, we don't want that guy in our building. And that's where Baker kind of currently sits, I think.
Yeah, and with Jimmy, doesn't it seem more likely that maybe if during the draft, a team that's looking at a quarterback and, maybe misses out on somebody, then they make a move for Jimmy? Because John Lynch said, it was 2 twos that was allegedly offered, and say, I don't know.
In his pocket.
In his pocket. Even if it's like the Steelers, and I'm not saying they will because they have Mitch now, but if they wanted to get a quarterback at 20, he gets picked, like Malik Willis gets picked earlier than that. Would the Steelers then offer 2 twos for Jimmy, because he's also, a month and change into his rehab, so you kind of have a good feel on where he is with his shoulder.
And Mitch could start for a while and then potentially hand it over to Jimmy, but you'd be paying 2 quarterbacks, so you don't know if they're the future or pretty good money. But with following up what Connor just talked about there, Tomlin said that they're probably going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
He actually said that. I believe 2 Missy Matthews, Plum High School grad, by the way, where the Ballers Ball and Players play. Shout out to Missy. We're actually friends. much closer with Diggs. I played soccer, though, with their little brother. Great family, good people. Love Missy. Love that she is like a voice of the fucking Steelers now at this point. But yeah, Tomlin said they're going to draft a quarterback, which is why you just mentioned what you mentioned. They're not the only team that is quarterback starving, looking to draft a quarterback. And if they fall off the board, which is what a lot of these free agents that are still sitting around after the draft have a much clearer picture of what everybody's roster looks like, who needs what.
Steelers also said that their goal was to get a quarterback this offseason without giving up draft capital. So yours was a hypothetical for sure. Yes. But like, so the thing is, like with Jimmy and Baker, like who?
So would a trade up in the draft be giving up draft capital?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it would be, right?
Would.
No doubt.
So at 20, who's going to be there? Pickett?
Maybe. I mean, if it's Pickett, if it's Ritter, if it's Willis. Like,
what about Corral, dude? You were all in on Corral.
I love Corral. You know, I've always loved Matty Corral.
Yeah, well, he didn't even make your top 3 quarterbacks from this draft class.
Well, as long as it's not Sam Howell, and I got nothing against the kid. He just looks too much and is built too much like Baker, so I can't have that happen.
Yeah, it's tough for Sam Howell right now with everything going on with Baker. He's immediately going to get fallout comparison.
Compared, yeah.
And also, I watched Sam Howell's pro day, a couple of those throws. Real casual.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very.
Kind of out to lunch.
No,
See any from Corrals?
What's that, pal?
It was good.
Catch any from Corral's pro day?
Yeah, Chris Sims told me it was great.
See the release?
Yeah, it's like it's a quick release like Marino, but also has a little side like Rich Gannon.
Oh yeah,
it's really
best of both worlds.
It's a Clyde Christensen throw, to be honest. The quarterback coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, formerly of the Colts for a long time, has coached everybody. He's a friend of the show. He has that little. It's like a side. It's like a 3/4 almost, like a 3/4 quick release. You like it or don't like it?
It was interesting. Sim said that a lot of balls on the ground.
White House drop level.
At the pro day?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
A lot of them.
See, a lot of people don't remember. We asked this question: does anybody have a bad pro day? If the first thing you think of from a quarterback's pro day is a lot of balls on the ground, probably had a bad pro day.
Yeah.
That guy probably didn't have a great pro day. But he's an athlete. That guy.
Oh yeah, he can move.
arm talent.
Arm
through the
talent.
roof.
Yeah.
SEC.
Yeah, of course.
Padded.
He's the best. Yeah.
Who was the quarterback before him? He was a really good quarterback, actually. He was a running back quarterback. Rich Rodriguez had him playing. Now he's just a wide receiver. He's going to be like Edelman.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
He's a player. That kid's going to make it. Charlie, maybe? No.
Plumley?
Mason?
Miles Plumlee.
Miles, yeah. Went to Duke.
Both of them, yeah.
Both of them.
Both brothers.
Both former Duke centers.
I don't think it was that. This was the Ole Miss quarterback before Matt Corral. Because when we called the Egg Bowl, he was the quarterback. And they said if this dude just wanted to be running back in the SEC, he'd probably be the best running back in the SEC.
Damn.
But he's our quarterback and our running back because Rich Rod ran the spread thing.
Yeah.
Then as soon as Lane Kiffin
John
gets
Reese Plumley.
there, Plumlee.
Nick, good
Nailed
call.
it.
Nick.
Nailed it.
I remember watching that game because you called it, and he was running all over the place.
He was unbelievable to watch. And his film, that I watched before the game.
Right.
Actually, Hasselbeck showed me. Hasselbeck was like, hey, you're going to like this guy. He's a freak athlete. He was. I think he played baseball as well for Ole Miss. Like, he's a guy, but Corral takes his position as soon as Lane Kiffin gets in there. That guy goes right to slot. Let's assume he's going to make the NFL. He's a great athlete, very fast, very quick, and he sees the game through quarterback's eyes.
Oh, that's
And before
important.
that, it was Jordan Talmadge.
Breaking news,
yeah.
Andy Dalton just signed with the New Orleans Saints.
Wow.
Adam Schefter's breaking that the Saints are signing former Bears quarterback, Dallas Cowboys quarterback, Cincinnati Bengals quarterback, Andy Dalton to a one-year deal worth up to $6 million, including $3 million guaranteed per source. Obviously, playing bonuses involved there. So they bring in Jameis Winston on a quarterback contract, pretty good, 20-some million, 21 million or something like that. 3-year, 21 million. Taysom Hill is focusing fully on tight end this offseason. So it appeared as if this was the Jimmy Winston show, which it still is because his contract is larger than Andy Dalton's, and that's the easiest way to see who's going to be the starter, who's not going to be the starter at the quarterback position. Great backup, though. Incredible backup. If Jameis gets hurt again, if Jameis gets a case of the pre-LASIK eyes again, if Jameis gets a case of the turnover skis, whatever it is, which we're not saying he will, you have a great backup who's always going to be very steady. Andy Dalton, his career is going to be fascinating to talk about.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, no scouting department, no indoor facility, no nothing. They were able to make the playoffs multiple times and have 11 win seasons in a 16-game schedule.
He almost won MVP one year.
Boom. Dominant. Like perfect for the Cincinnati Bengals almost, it felt like. Found that new haircut too, became super handsome.
Yeah.
Then they move on. They go the Joe Burrow era. I think he was cut the day after trade deadline on his birthday.
Yes.
Bingo.
I think. So they cut him before like he could even be traded or explore options. In his entire situation in Cincinnati with Zach Taylor was not great. I mean, it was not a great ending, but it never is, I think, for almost everybody. So then he goes to the Dallas Cowboys. He plays for them. He gets decapitated on the field.
Yeah.
And nobody helps him up.
Nobody.
And it's like, holy shit, they hate him. He comes back later. They start winning games again. If you do recall, when he came back later, now that roster's loaded in everybody's mind, but they started winning some games. He goes to Chicago. They draft Justin Fields. We don't want you to play. They thought they were going to get Russell Wilson before they get Andy Dalton. So it's quite a letdown for everybody. Andy Dalton has been in a fascinating career path for a long time. And I assume he's just the same exact guy every single day. I assume he's pumped to get down to the Saints and get this opportunity just to continue to play ball because he is just a Texas kid at the end of the day who loves football.
Well, and it's awesome for them because, now Taysom Hill just has his spot. Don't have to pay him that massive contract. He's just another weapon on the offense now.
Joining us now is a man who probably played against Andy Dalton numerous times. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Man to Man podcast and Everything DB, 9-year NFL vet who played every position in the secondary, Darius Butler. What's up?
Yo.
Hey.
We good? I got the AirPods in. We good?
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been us too because you and Rappaport both did the AirPods last week. Didn't work. Yesterday, Rapp had the AirPods on. Worked.
Yep.
You're wearing the AirPods now. It works. So maybe Tim Cook figured out how to fucking
like an
do
update
life.
or something.
Thank you, Tim. I know you haven't been paying attention to football at all. We've all been following along on your Twitter. You love F1 right now, huh?
They got me. I mean, I'm in. They're coming to Miami in May, I think. I'll definitely be there. I've been watching the series on Netflix. I got sucked into a race this weekend, and I like it, man. I like it. I went to one race in Indy 500, one Indy 500. It was that crowd, that whole scene was electric. I saw you shot Peyton Place out there. That was dope. But this F1, man, it's dope.
So obviously Indy cars and F1 cars, different cars, but the most similar American type car is the Indy car to the F1 car. Now, the F1 I think is the dream of all racers from around the world because the amount of money that's involved in it, the fanfare, they're like superstars over in Europe, like soccer player superstars in Europe. I think. Like they are big deals, but there's only like 15 of them. I think it's a very expensive sport to do as a child. I've not gotten into F1. I've watched a lot of IndyCar. I know a lot about IndyCar. What do you like about it? The cars, the lifestyle, what do you like about it?
Yeah, well, I mean, once I saw how much those guys got paid, I'm like, damn, it's got to be something to it. I saw they were building a big track down in Miami. Like, I'll check it out. Saw it on ESPN, and they do the whole just like a football game, do the whole pregame thing, and I was kind of locked into the different storylines. And then, like you said, you see the amount of money that goes into these cars, the sponsorships, Ferrari, McLaren, all these cars that we grow up knowing, and now seeing, the racers, how cutthroat the business is. It's dope, man. Getting that live shot from the drivers, to their people, like back and forth, what's going on. It's dope, man.
I bet you F1 is very excited you're in on it. And I think that was the entire purpose of the Netflix series, by the way, is for, hey, we can kind of educate people on what our sport actually is that aren't from around here. Because over there, it's huge. Right, and every big name thing every expensive thing you can think of in your head right now, you just thought of, they are sponsors in that thing. Yeah. So the sponsorships, anytime you see the big, like Tom Brady has like all those massive like watch companies and everything. It's like, oh, those sponsorships are big. Those are big money because those are big companies. Over there, like Rolex, I think is one of their biggest sponsors, and like every cliche
Tag Heuer, however you say it.
Every cliche rich name is involved with this thing. It's like, oh, so all the money in the world is right here. Well, what is it? I haven't gotten into it. I'm happy you have. Let's talk about
the internet. They let me know you hated it. As soon as I put it, hey man, let's get Pat. Tell Pat F1's dope, man. Let's make him love it. Hey man, if you don't like it, you don't like it.
I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. I'm a little jaded. My car crashed.
Right.
I had a car in the Indy 500. It crashed. So that cost me a lot of money. So
hey, it's an expensive sport.
Yeah, well,
you guys should go to Monaco together.
Ooh. We go to Monaco?
Let's do it.
What's Monaco? That's their Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's where all the super yachts are parked right off the track.
On the ocean.
Gorgeous.
Goes through the whole city.
Debo, we're at a point now where we can rent one of those super yachts too for like a week or so.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Like I see on Steve Harvey's Instagram, like I think I can get one of those now for like a week or so. Maybe we should do that one day.
That'd be cool.
I believe that's where last year a driver got knocked out of the race and then just walked right off the track onto a yacht.
And then drove away?
No, it's just chilled on the yacht until the race was over.
Smart.
That's some dope shit. That's some dope shit. But I actually just saw a clip off from one of the shows where this dude, car split in two, on fire, dude jumps out. Some crazy shit, man. I'm locked in. They got me. F1, you got me. I stayed away as long as I could.
Hey, congrats,
Good
F1.
job, F1.
Got me, though. I'm locked in.
Darius was all in on the NHL there. He was
Still a big hockey guy.
Florida Panthers, pretty good team.
Pretty good. We're up there. Hopefully you don't get that President's Cup because that's bad luck. Get the President's Cups, don't usually win. That's big hockey guy.
That's true.
And
Boy, G-Bud,
Well rounded.
Diva really seems like he's taking the same approach I do to a lot of things. Learn one thing about it. Go ahead and hammer that home. That's impressive to know about the President's Cup.
President's Trophy. No, it's not a cup.
No, that's
President's
cup.
Trophy.
No, it's cup.
We'll
It's
still
cup.
drink out of it.
It's cup. Debo, let's talk a little bit about the NFL right now. Jimmy G might be the quarterback for the Niners going into next season. So you think about last year, they traded away their entire future to get up to number 3, to get a new quarterback. It was very public. Jimmy G still on the contract. Jimmy G still in their plans, they said. Jimmy G handled it, smile on his face, went to work, did his thing. At the end of this season, he said goodbye to people in the media. Like, hey, all right, it's been fun. Thank you all so much for being nice. The team said, yeah, we're going to let him seek a trade. We're going to figure it out. He was great for us. They did a whole goodbye. Then you think about like the Sam Darnold situation. Sam Darnold for the Panthers. Now, I'm not saying that he has accomplished anywhere near the same amount of things that Jimmy G has, but the Panthers were clearly in the quarterback conversation publicly with every single team that could possible. And now Matt Rule saying, Sam Darnold actually looked pretty good last year, like coming back around. With the Baker Mayfield situation happening the way it happened, do you think with the way Jimmy G has handled this, the way Sam Darnold has handled this, it's only going to spread the word around general managers and front offices even more like, yeah, Baker's not out to be cut out to be a quarterback? Because if Jimmy G's their starting quarterback week 1, this is already after goodbyes and smiles.
Yeah.
And he handled it like a real professional, which a lot of positions have to. Baker, I think, is going to get labeled a distraction in this entire thing. I honestly believe that.
Yeah, Baker can't stay there. He can't stay there and be a backup. And I honestly don't think it'll work for Jimmy G to stay in San Fran either. I think they're coming out and saying, oh, it's a possibility he'll be in the plans, blah blah blah. But that's BS. I think they still want to move him. We've all seen and heard reports about them telling Trey Lance that he'll be the guy going forward. Like you said, they already said their goodbyes, and that's one of those positions where once that toothpaste is out of the tube, it doesn't go back in. Same you saw with Deshaun Watson and the Browns before they knew he was actually going there. Matt Ryan with the Falcons, and the same. The Panthers, they damn sure better move on from Sam Darnold. I don't know what that's about. I know they're in the quarterback market in this draft, free agency. I think Baker Mayfield would be a better fit there than Sam Darnold would. But I think San Fran, they got to move on from Jimmy G. The Colts, you heard them say that they would have been in on Jimmy G if it wasn't for that shoulder surgery. And that's what kind of threw things off. When Jimmy G decided to get that surgery, when he did, that threw off the whole timeline that the 49ers had in mind. So now they're kind of trying to figure it out on the run.
Darius Butler watches a lot of film. Darius Butler, one of the highest football IQs I've ever been around at any position. I got a chance to watch it live in person in team meetings and on a field. Absolute stud. You like Baker a lot, huh? You've said he's better than a lot of Mitch. I think you said he's better than.
Whoa! That's bad. No, I do not like Baker a lot, but I did say I think the Baker Mayfield disrespect has gone a little too far, though. I still think he's a top, 22 type quarterback. He's a middle of the pack quarterback. He played hurt last year, which he shouldn't have. That's bad on his agent, really bad on him. But, you can't stop a player from playing if they really want to play. But I think Baker is a decent starting quarterback in this league. We saw him have success early. We saw him have success, obviously, that playoff year. And I think he's still a good player if you have weapons around him. But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Oh yeah. Because early there, I guess I kind of cornered you into being like, Baker's a great quarterback.
I don't want you to think. I don't want to say like, hey, I'm high on Baker. But he's not a backup quarterback. He's a starting quarterback in this league for sure.
Okay, awesome. Excited to see what he ends up doing and where he ends up going. The Jimmy G situation, fascinating as well. Just in mental toughness and being able to separate personal from professional feelings. Not everybody's able to do it. I don't know if I'd be able to, but if Jimmy's able to go back and do his thing, that's awesome. We have some breaking news, Darius, as you are on with us. Ian Rappaport is reporting live from the league meetings that proposal number 1 was amended. Both teams are now guaranteed a possession in overtime, but it's now postseason only. It was approved per source. So there was 3 different options going. The Eagles and the Colts proposal has passed, and it's permanent. Both teams guaranteed a possession in overtime, postseason only. Okay, there was another option where the Titans pitched that if the team that receives the kickoff scores a touchdown, they must also score a 2-point conversion to win it outright without the chance of the other team getting the ball. Now it's both teams are guaranteed a possession. Darius Butler, who played defense in the NFL, probably feels the exact same way as every other defensive-minded human I've ever talked to that has been associated with the NFL. Tomlin's come out and said the overtime is just fine because Tomlin is a defensive guy, and every other defensive person you hear speak, like AJ, Darius, and literally anybody has said, yeah, we're a part of the fucking team too. Make a stop. You win the goddamn game if you want to get your quarterback back. Do you not enjoy this at all? I heard you groan immediately upon reading that, D-Bud.
You know, as a competitor, as an athlete, like you said, as a defensive player, you know, you think, you know, get a stop, get the ball back, and give it back to your offense. You got to score. You saw the Bengals do it in the playoffs right after the, you know, Bills fans cried about it about the week before. But as a fan, you know, this is good for the fans of football. You would have liked to see Josh Allen get another possession, all these other great quarterbacks that are in the league right now. I think is probably the most talented we've seen a quarterback position. It's probably 10 like legit dudes. So I mean, yeah, the NFL, you know, they're gonna do the decisions that make the most sense when it comes to money. And I think as a fan, it's a good move.
So, D-But, Schefter just followed up and said that the regular season overtime rules will remain the exact same. So for a large portion of it, the defense still has a chance to make a play and get their quarterback and their offense back on the field. But I think Rappaport brought up a great point yesterday whenever A.J. Hawk was explaining similar to what you said. Yeah, get a stop, dude. Like that.
Yeah.
Like, get a stop. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. It's a team sport. It's not quarterback versus quarterback. Ian Rappaport brought up a pretty good point. With the way the rules are now, and with the way offenses are, like, you're going to get got. A defense is going to get got, I think, at some point. Do you not agree with that? Do you not think that the game is...
As far as yards, yeah. I mean, with the how the game is designed now, and every year it's leaning more towards the offense. They want more points scored and all that. So yards, yeah. But as far as situational football, 2-minute situations, red area, holding teams to field goals and not touchdowns, defense can still win in those situations. So I think that's where teams will separate themselves. Like, I give a damn about yards if I'm a D coordinator. It's about 2-minute, third down, 2 minutes before the half, 2 minutes at the end of the game, and, holding guys to 3 and not giving up 7 in the red area. That's what it comes down to. The yards, the RPOs, the throwing up the ball, and it's a spot foul like it's always been. You see more quarterbacks and receivers doing that and getting away with that. Those will continue to be an issue for defenses. But as far as the situational stuff, man, that's where you got to really dial it in. And that's what Belichick has been, so great at over the years.
Oh, yeah.
And that defensive side of the ball.
So that whole spot foul throw it up thing that you just mentioned, and listening to you say I could give a damn about yards, by the way, is fascinating because, as a punter, there was a couple game plans, I believe, where I was not told maybe until after I witnessed it happen. You guys were not worried about, hey, we are going to bend. We are going to bend. We are not worried about that. But in the red zone, we are going to lock this shit down. We're going to get 3. We're going to give up 3 as opposed to 7. That's an actual strategy going into some games, I think, right?
Yeah, and that's another. You just made me think as a punter. So like when you used to pin the offenses deep, that's another situation, coming out situation. Because if you pin them inside that 10, the likelihood, you look at the numbers, the statistics of them driving down and actually getting points are way lower when they're pinned inside that 10-yard line. So that's another situation. Another weapon to have is a good punter. But yeah, some teams, I'm playing the Chiefs. We're not coming in saying, hey, we're going to keep Patrick Mahomes under 300 yards. We're going to keep this offense under a certain amount of yards. You can have 570 yards. If you only got 24 points to show for it, we should be able to put up enough points on the board to win.
I had a couple alley-oops to D-Butt.
Ooh.
Yeah, couple. I like the one.
Oh yeah.
Couple alley oops. It felt so good. It was like yes, and especially because it was a dude I liked doing it to. I'm like yes. This is the entire purpose of field position, actually. But
absolutely.
Yeah, it's
those quarterbacks, man, especially those mid quarterbacks, when they're backed up like that, pause. Them asshole gets tight. It get tight back there. You scared to throw those out routes. Scared to get picked off. Just going to the crib. And as an offense, sometimes you're just trying to get a first down just to give the punter enough room for a normal operation. So as a defense, you love those situations.
Okay, so I forget what you said exactly. I was going to go somewhere, but we just got into a great conversation about punting, and I'm never going to stop that, ever. I believe,
yards.
No, before that, you said something else. Oh, man.
We're talking about the overtime rules. We're talking about scoring, defense, getting stops.
Quarterbacks. Yeah, fuck it. It was a good one. We'll get back to it. You gave such a great answer. You know what I mean? You gave such a great answer there early. You're like, hey, you're killing it on the microphone these days, dude. Honestly.
Hey, learning from the best, man.
No, I just forgot completely what I was going to ask.
No,
I just lost completely what I was going to ask you. Let's move on. I watched a video of Russell Wilson and Jerry Jeudy practicing at Russell Wilson's little compound thing there. He's got a fucking hose, this guy. Dude, he has a couple, I guess it's some seams or posts or whatever the fuck, and he's throwing, they have the camera from behind him. He has an absolute rocket. And the way he's talking to Jerry Jeudy, who's already on that team and been on that team, he is the offensive coordinator, right? Because it's a brand new offense coming in there with Hackett. He's teaching. That's a perfect situation for Russell. He's supposed to be the leader. He knows the offense just as much as everybody else, so he's comfortable and confident.
That's right.
And
Over here.
listen, this future.
That's right. Right here, future. Right here, future.
Right here, future in the backfield. Come on, fucking A, dude.
Okay, got future in the front. Okay.
Good. Sit. Nice. Now go foot. Outside.
I mean, you gotta love this guy, the quarterback. Probably, not the best friend, but man, the quarterback, man.
Number two. Well said.
Lean that back. Good. Trip right. Right here. Boom. Line up. And boom. Good.
All right, come on, snap the damn ball, bro.
Play clock.
All right, I think you were just going through all the different alignments. I believe they were doing a quick walkthrough there, but you're 100% right. I don't know if we'd enjoy hanging out with him on a very regular basis, although, Sierra seems to enjoy it.
Right.
Hey, Russ, you just, keep doing
it.
Hey, Russ, shout out to Mr. Unlimited, man. When you see that field, he's got the backyard, so he probably doesn't give a damn about friends in that situation. But like I said, as a quarterback, as a CEO of your company, that's the guy you want. So I'm excited to watch the Broncos. I'm excited to watch Jeudy too, because Judy's special. We had Xavier Howard on the Man to Man pod, and we asked him last season who was one of the toughest covers, because he was a guy who travels with a lot of number one receivers, and surprisingly he said Jerry Jeudy. So I'm excited to see his ascension at the receiver position too.
Well, they look to be on the same exact page. And Russell Wilson at that press conference, when I watched the press conference, just like you just said at the beginning of that video, and then it obviously ran on too long, you're like, man, you'd love to have that guy as your quarterback. I watched that opening press conference, and it was the most quarterback speak I'd ever heard naturally out of a guy with a suit. And, he looked at like Hackett a couple times in the middle of it and was like, we're never out of it, by the way. I'm like, that's the fucking guy. Like, I don't need to hang out with him. I'm just a fan now, but I would have been pumped if that dude was the Colts quarterback. Now, with that being said, let's transition here. Matt Ryan looked good coming out of that plane, dude. Hey, Matt Ryan looked good coming out of that plane. The suit was incredible. His press conference seemed to be relaxed, comfortable, very confident. That team needs a guy. I don't know how long he's going to be playing for. He doesn't have a clue either in all of his answers. Do you like Matt Ryan coming to the Colts?
I like it. And it'll be important, obviously, what they do going forward. How do they build around him? I would have loved it if it happened a little earlier, with getting so that way you can pitch some receivers to get in the building. Wasn't that many big money receivers on the market, but you could have maybe at least tried to get Allen Robinson or somebody in the building. But there's still some guys out there. But I like the Matt Ryan move. He's a professional. He's a guy that's seen it all at the quarterback position. He's not going to try to do too much. He's going to get on his back foot and try to hit guys in the spot and hand the damn ball off to Jonathan Taylor.
There we go.
I'm excited about Matt, man.
Did you hear? I got a question in the press conference. What do you know
saw
about
that. Shout out to Kyle, man. I saw that.
Yeah, dude. Kyle delivered it like a pro, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we expect from Kyle.
Yeah, you're right. They do. I mean, they hold their own media sessions in there every day in that training room. One of the most electrifying group of people on earth is that athletic training room in the Indianapolis Colts building. Seriously.
That's a fact. I mean, you gotta love training. That was you only play with one mob, but usually training rooms, that's where it goes down. And that was a top-notch training room out there. Shout out to the guys.
Everybody's in there. At some point during the season, everybody's in there. And nobody's in there happy, right? Nobody's in there with a good mood. So they literally have to set the environment that isn't miserable and get people to do things that is miserable. Mm-hmm. I mean, like rehab is miserable. It hurts, but it's a necessary evil, obviously. So like the physical therapists, the athletic trainers, the doctors in there, they have to be so positive and talk shit too. Like you have to be able to keep up.
Because as a player, you fucked up. That's when you're at your lowest. Because you're used to walking around like damn near you got to have like an invincible mindset. And then when you're broken down, those guys got to build you back up. So it's important, man. And the coaches, whether they're really looking at you different or not, you feel like they are. As a player, when you're hurt, you're not doing shit. The players, it's just a completely different vibe. So being in that training room, having the right training room is important. I think that's why a lot of training rooms outlast head coaches, general managers. Like these Hammer's been there for what, 35 years at this point?
I think since the Mayflower came over from Baltimore.
Like no exaggeration.
Like I'm serious. I think. And same with John Scott. Frog's been there in the equipment room. Like the backbone of buildings, from the player's perspective, is normally such a top-notch. I mean, in my perspective, all top-notch people, but I don't know every other building, so I don't have a clue what other buildings are. That's why when the Colts win, I'm like so happy because of them. Like, hey, I got a lot of friends in that building still. Like, I'm happy that they get to experience it because they live and die with the goddamn team as well.
Big facts.
Yeah, they're drinking whiskey after losses on the plane. Like, goddamn, we didn't sleep all week and we just fucking lost the goddamn game. I mean, we're in here 4 a.m. all the way to 10 p.m., 11 p.m. every day, and we can't fucking beat Jacksonville. Their fans are dressed like clowns. I would love to have heard. This is not an actual conversation that I had. I am just reenacting what it probably was like as a human that had seen them in similar type losses in the past. Mm-hmm. But they're a great group. Great group.
Great group of humans.
Imagine that room after they lost to Jacksonville last week of the season. They didn't get into the playoffs. Devastating.
Sick plane ride home.
Devastating.
I mean, that's usually a good one. Usually good one. I probably had one bad plane ride home from Jacksonville, but damn, that I know that had to be sick.
Hey, since we left, by the way, I think things have changed mightily. I think that has been vastly different. You always had a pick six against them. I think
always had to. That was close enough. The closest game I was going to get to home. So I was going to have 25, 30 people in the stands. So I had to show out.
That was a couple.
Shout out Chad Henne, Blaine Gabbert, all my guys. Blaine Gabbert.
Hey, you always look so smooth, too. It always felt like you were running the routes, the ones you picked six, because you basically were or whatever. And then the hands were always just so... Yeah, you were a fucking...
I scored more touchdowns in Jacksonville than I gave up, so I can live with that.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, he was... I was the holder for Vinny. And then if Vinny got hurt, I'd be the kicker. Who would be the holder? So we were looking for who the holder would be. And my first thought was like, oh, D-Butt's like the smoothest athlete I've ever seen. Basketball catching. He's probably the guy. You fucking stunk at holding. Do you remember that? You were terrible at that.
Hey, that shit was tough. It's a little different. I'd rather be lined up across from Julio Jones to be holding that ball for Vinny for a game, or holding the ball for you for a game winner. That shit was a little, even in practice, I had that sweat dripping down the middle of my back. That shit was tough. You broke my finger, too.
No, I didn't. By the way, for the people that hold balls, like for somebody who's above average at kicking footballs, like if they're in the NFL, if they hit your hand, they are not in the NFL. So it's like, or even a good college guy. So that whole thing. But the whole thought.
That shit sound good, Pat.
Yeah.
It sounds real good. Yeah, just catch it. The laces are on the snapper, and don't worry about it. Just put it down. It sounds good, but that shit get real.
Man, now that I'm realizing that I still can't touch my toes, I don't know how I didn't just rip a hammy and D-Butt's out there in the middle of a goddamn game. Because I think there was somebody else chosen, but when push came to shove, who would Tom McMahon actually would have went to is interesting. And it's probably this fucking guy. Probably. He wasn't our best option at practice, but I feel like in the game, he'd be able to do it. Let's move on. The boys have some questions, D-Butt. You're the man, dude. Go ahead, Ty.
D-Butt, I think you were really big on Kyle Hamilton, the safety from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think at the combine he ran like, high 4.4, low 4.5, but then at the pro day they were saying he ran, like 4.75. How much does that? Yeah, how much does that actually matter? Like, other than that probably affecting his draft stock, like how do you go from like a consensus top pick to all of a sudden people watching you at your pro day and be like, oh shit, this guy's slow?
Yeah, for the evaluators, they're not going to take a safety, I would say top 5 that's running that type of time. I wouldn't have ran again if I was him. I think a low 4.5, high 4.4 is a good time for a big body like him. You turn on the film, his range is unbelievable. So that 4.7 is hard to get out of your head, but his range, his football instincts, I would still draft him at the top. But a lot of these evaluators are old school, man. They look at numbers and it won't spit. I actually talked to an evaluator last year before the draft because me and my brothers were debating who would be the first. This was well before the draft. Chase and Smith out of Alabama, the Heisman winner. And I'm like, yeah, the guy was like, yeah, there's no way they're taking Smith that high simply because of his frame, how big he is. Like if he was 2 inches taller, 20 pounds heavier, he would have been a top 5 pick. And that's kind of how these guys are programmed. So if he ran a 4.7 today, I think that'll hurt him, but he'll still go in the top half of the first round. But if he stuck with that 4.4, I mean, he could have easily been a top 4, top 5 pick. So I think that hurts.
He thought he was going to run a 4.3?
Yeah, I don't know.
I would have stuck with that, man.
Yeah, me too.
Damn.
Jonathan Davis ran a 4.81.
Yeah, what?
6'6", 341.
I mean, Jarvis Landry ran like a 4.7, I think. But you turn on that tape, some guys, they got different football speed. And Hamilton, his football speed is elite.
I agree completely. That film is the thing that matters most in this whole thing. But that is just startling almost because he's on the border like who's the potential number 2 pick.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then at safety, in the world we live in the world that we currently live in speed is everything in the NFL.
Yeah.
That is very surprising because I would assume you learn some technique just automatically being a high draft prospect that makes you run lower than a 4.5 if you're this. I just automatically assume that. Because I know there is an entire technique to the thing, right? I mean, that's big.
It is. You can overthink it. You can be tense. And I think the guys that just run. I mean, if you're fast, you're fast. You just run. It's certain things. The start is the most important thing. If you get your start there, I would assume he probably had a bad start or it was some bad. Is it cold as hell out there or something? Like what's?
There's conflicting reports. Officially, they're saying he ran a 4.5.
Oh, okay.
Move the stick said.
But I saw something that DJ said it might have been juiced a little bit.
Yeah, bingo.
Move the sticks?
Yeah. That's where I saw it, that he ran a very poor 40 time at his pro day. And that
Daniel Jeremiah, that's all he does is pay attention to that stuff.
Bingo.
There's another guy saying he was there, clocked, and he had it at 4.63.
Who's this guy's thumb?
hell?
Also, by the way, everybody's thumb. Okay.
Is that Casserly? It's not Casserly's thumb. I don't trust it.
That's like for punting, right? Hang time is something that's very real. And there's some people that are just absolutely terrible at it. And like 2/10 fucking ruins an entire career potentially. It's like a 4.8 sounds a lot different than 4.6. 4.6 sounds a lot different than a 4.4. Yeah. I mean, those are just both in running and in punting.
Yeah, those are different worlds.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, D-But, you just mentioned Julio Jones. Do you think he is someone who would come back to Indianapolis and or come back to play with Matt Ryan in Indy? Or do you think because the number 2 is taken and the number 11 is taken and Mark Pittman refuses to give it up, that he probably won't come to Indy?
Jeez.
I think he wore 6 at Bama, so I think, or 8. I think it's still a chance. I would love Julio to come to Indy though, man. Obviously, he got a rapport with Matt Ryan. He's still a guy that can be productive. He's not a guy that I would hang my hat on and say, hey, this is going to be our top guy week in and week out. You're going to have to manage him throughout the year, throughout the week to get him to game day every week. But that you can't substitute all those reps that he's already had with Matt Ryan, and that's what Matt needs right now. He needs guys that are going to be in their spots. He's got a line that could block him up, and so he needs guys that can beat coverages and make tough catching. I think Julio is still one of those guys.
Tom.
D-But, now that Taysom Hill is strictly focusing on tight end, is he a future Hall of Famer at that position, guaranteed?
Nah, he's a weapon though. He's a weapon. I'm glad the quarterback experience is over. Experiment is over. Did they sign Andy Dalton too?
Yeah.
Yeah, today.
So
$3 million guaranteed. $3 million guaranteed. $6 million max.
That's it.
Yeah, backup. Clearly backup.
Yeah, clearly backup money. But yeah, Hill is a weapon. He's a weapon. He's big, fast. DBs don't really want to see him in the open field. Obviously, he can affect the special teams game as well. No Hall of Famer though.
No, well, we don't know.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston might like him more than Drew Brees.
He'll have a folder, though.
No, we don't know.
Personal protection.
Hey, you're a Hall of Famer in my book. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler. Thank you, All right, we got to get to a break here on this glorious Tuesday, March 29th, 2022. Yesterday, we powered right through this particular hard out. Pretty disrespectful to the ears of people.
Well, Herbie was just dropping knowledge.
Herbie was killing it yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
As was Darius, by the way.
Sure.
I enjoyed chatting with Darius. I was so mad I forgot what I was going to ask him because it was off of his answer. But then punting, entered my mind and took it over. But it would have been good, which is good news for our next conversation because hopefully I'll watch this back and I'll be able to get it.
Yeah, you'll remember it. Write it down on your phone. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Note section.
Yep.
I always act like I'm going to do that. I never do.
I know, but this time's different.
This time is different.
There we go.
All right. Next hour will be different too. AJ
Yeah.
Hawk will be here. We'll see you in 10. Nailed it for the radio. Let's
go.
And I keep saying we'll see you. You'll hear us in 10.
They might
Yeah.
see us. They might be like, you know what? He's right.
so
Maybe I will.
Okay, so there's some rule changes here being confirmed or extended, I believe Zito's telling me, coming out of the league committee. Approved 2022 playing rules. Both teams are allowed the ball in postseason. Okay, that's Indianapolis and Philadelphia's pitch. Competition committee makes permanent the free kick formation change implemented during the 2021 season that established a maximum number of players in the setup zone. So that's a kickoff, a free kick. But also it could be a punt after safety, I believe, and anything else considered a free kick, right? That's the official title. Umbrella, it falls under. Kickoff is what they're talking about. This is, I believe, 8 guys have to be within 30 yards of the kickoff line, the 35. I don't know if it's 25 yards or 30 yards or 35 yards or if it's 8 or 9 guys. I think it might be 9 guys. It might be 8. They might have started with 8 and moved it to 9. But it's basically having the hands team on. You have to have the hands team on. So that doesn't allow the run up from people on the kickoff return team running towards the people that are running down the field with 1 yard back. So it's a smaller collision because they have to run together as opposed to a full head start. So that's a safety decision that is made. I don't want to act as if Tom McMahon and I are a part of that entire thing, but we did so many surprise onside kicks early in one season in which we were successful that we saw everybody's hands team every single kickoff. So first quarter opening kickoff, hands teams on the field. It was cool. It was a sweet thing to do because people had to play us differently. Now, with doing that, I ended up being able to kick touchbacks just so easily because they could never set up a return, which is what this does and takes away from the entire game because instead of setting up a couple 2-man blocking groups or different places and somebody kind of looping around to take this and really set up a nice return lane, this is a little bit more difficult because it's more like a punt return for a lot of guys who have to run down. They're still able to get creative. They're still able to create magic, but I do believe it takes away from the overall success rate that could come from the kickoff returns. And also you see people much more likely to take a knee for a touchback because they don't have any real blocking for them like they used to have, which leads me to me benefiting mightily. I'd hit a ball 2 yards deep. It would normally be brought out on every other team, but for us, it was now we're taking a knee because our hands team's on the field and we can't return. So actually, I think I have the highest touchback rate in the history of the NFL percentage. And they were not all that good. There was other people kicking kickoffs much better than me, and I'm at a 99% touchback rate or something like that because literally they couldn't bring it out because the hands team was on there. Now the entire NFL is doing it, and they're implementing that change to go on. Is there anything else in there? Go back one more. No, to the list, the paper. Yeah, that one. What's that bottom one? G1 by Baltimore, Buffalo, Philadelphia, and Tampa Bay amends the anti-tampering policy in regard to secondary football executive positions to allow the employer club the choice to retain its player personnel staff through the annual selection meeting. After the selection meeting through June 30th, the employer club is required to grant permission for another club to interview and hire a non-high-level executive or non-secondary football executive for a secondary football executive position. Hey, you can't pluck our scouts and shit before the draft, okay? They at least got to finish the draft here.
Yeah.
You're gonna pick us dry if one person goes and has an entire team has to replenish all their scouts right into scout season. So I think that's what that is. I might be wrong. Is that how you guys read it?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. You can get like our entire department after we need them.
Wait for the new league year to start.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Get off our backs, dude. So that's the new game. Little nuances changing a little bit there. The overtime thing's interesting. I didn't think that was going to change.
Me neither. That is wild.
Yeah, I thought it was going to say.
Apparently, the only in the postseason was the thing that got it through. Yeah.
All right, let's get to a break here. We'll be back in about 5.5 minutes or so with AJ Hawk talking about all things happening in the NFL. You all are the best. See you then. Cheers. We are live in the home of the Trashers, alongside two of the greatest Pisons of all time, AJ and Jimmy Galante. What the fuck is International Ice Wars, and why is this going to be the most electrifying thing of all time?
This is a brand new sport. I figured we just cut out the middleman of the hockey, and we bring in just the hockey fights.
Since we have one of the most famous Italian families in American history, I would like to clarify some things. Am I allowed to just do this randomly?
Anytime
Yeah, why not?
Don't worry about it.
Hockey. Let's get rid of the puck. Let's get rid of the stick. Let's just have these two Goliaths fight each other. Is this what hockey is in the future, you think?
Pat, there's an old adage that people say, I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out, and I think this is what we have here. You guys have captured the essence of it.
Hey! Am I allowed to emoji with both hands? Am I allowed to do this?
You can do whatever you want. Pat.
Whatever I want?
You do whatever you want.
How many fights May 21st?
We have an 8-man heavyweight tournament on May 21st. We have 2 weight divisions, 200 and up and 199 and down.
Am I allowed to do the hey, how's the mozzarella? You know, just take it all upset. Look, he's getting tight over there. Hey, what's going on with the mozzarella? Hey, can I get a little Vaseline? Hey, a little gabagool. Am I allowed to do that?
I have no problem.
AJ?
Yeah, I like it.
How you doing?
The thing I think people will like is it's hard to sit through 10, 12 rounds of boxing.
I get tired doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Each fight is 2 1-minute rounds.
There's a thing that rhymes with a certain brand of pop. I believe it's called Fago Pop.
What kind of pop?
It's Fago with an F. Yeah. If I was to substitute that F, put a
I
D
see
in
what
it,
you're doing. Yeah.
am I allowed to, hey, what's going on? Look at us. Word. Am I allowed to say that?
I don't care.
Look at us.
We gonna pop the tops off, or we go bare knuckle?
They're wearing full hockey gear, helmet down to skates, but they do wear 4-ounce MMA style gloves.
Intros, how are intros?
I think it's going to be very WrestleMania-esque.
Pyro?
Yes, very WrestleMania-esque.
Hey, are you going to be in there just throwing money at the winner?
I would love to be able to go to Canada, but I'm not allowed in the country.
Because of Hey, you fucking have nothing to say over there. Life just got so much better.
Do whatever you want.
Hey. What does the winner get? A title belt?
Oh no. King of the ring, you get a crown.
Oh. Who is the judges?
The judges are going to be either current or previous hockey enforcers who know what to look for, rather than randoms like in boxing who've never boxed.
Do you plan on any ex-NHL goons getting in?
Hey, we'd love to if they're not scared.
Hey, come get a couple stick taps.
There's a lot of NHL guys that are super excited for this.
How do we know that the judges aren't gonna be paid off?
Yeah, because, you know,
to curb the people that may be some prejudice because of our front office staff, we have 5 judges per fight instead of 3. So it's easy to pull one guy out, but with 5 it's a little more difficult, so just in case. And here's the best part, if one of the judges is a current fighter, okay? If we have a fight and you lose on the cards and you don't like it, you call out a judge for the next Ice Wars and fight them.
Shouldn't that be how life is a little
Yeah.
bit? Yeah.
If it goes to a draw, it goes to an immediate 30-second icebreaker round on site. If the ref raises two hands, it's on site 30 seconds. Battle it out for the winner.
Let's go. Who will get the crown? We find out May 21st on Fight TV. Tickets go on sale first week of April. I see your hoodie.
Yes. You make sure AJ Hawk knows that you are a real Italian because I said so. And if he's got a problem, tell him to call me.
Let's go! Hawks are soaring, baby. Dude, they're about to win by 35.
Live bet these dogs at Fanduel now.
That's a great idea. There's no need to be in this situation anymore because live betting at Fanduel has never been easier. You simply open the app, identify your location, and boom, find the game you want to put some action on. It's easier than it ever has been before with our friends at Fanduel Sportsbook. And then comes the best part. We'll see you tomorrow! Let's fucking go!
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 2 on this Tuesday, March 29th, 2022. 5 days before WrestleMania Sunday, where I make my debut. Begins now. Hell yeah! Can't thank it up for joining us. The Toxic Table is here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. In his perch, one half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs. What are we betting on right now?
Last night was a bad night. NHL.
Oh, hey, last night, NCAA Women's Elite Eight.
Yeah. NC State and
Connecticut.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Did you see that buzzer beater?
Oh, yeah.
It was like a half-court pass, precision chuck up over the, like 4 people down into a corner, bucket splash, three-pointers, electrifying.
Unbelievable.
Did you see it?
Of course I did.
Did you watch it, Tom?
Yeah, and I also watched Louisville win, too.
Doesn't sound like it.
Did I? Doesn't it? Because I said exactly who the teams were and who won.
Is that what you're betting on or not?
No, those ones I just like to watch. I don't want to like sway myself one way or the other. So
you just like to enjoy
fan of the game.
the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last night, tough night for the boys.
What happened? I shouldn't have asked today.
No.
Gumpy shaking his head profusely back there.
No.
Gumpy, the other half of the hammer. Dahn, Cowboys, rocking his trashy jersey.
Welcome to the team.
That a baby Goop. He was shaking his head. No, he looked great in the tarp, obviously.
It's good tarp.
Yeah, looked great.
It's good tarp.
Looked great in the sweater, Gump, and congrats on being part of the Evil Empire.
Thank you, Crashers.
Yeah. AJ Galante, by the way, great GM.
Great
Great GM.
Top tier.
Getting drafted. Campbell yesterday, Connor Campbell yesterday, and Bubba Gumpino today. And, we just announced that their International Ice Wars first event, which is hockey fighting basically with 5 judges, is May 21st. You can watch that on Fight TV. Tickets go on sale next week for that. It's in Canada, by the way.
Okay.
I have 0 parts of that.
Saskatoon.
Just want to let everybody know I have 0 parts of that.
No.
But I am very excited for the Galante family for being as nice as they have been to us. Whenever that documentary was hot, AJ made time to come on this show, chit-chat with us, and did that entire thing. Now they got something going on. I am lucky to be the one that got to travel up there and bullshit with them and announce that for them. How much fun was that? Hey.
Sweet.
I had a fucking blast up there.
Good time.
Great time.
Delicious food.
delicious Italian.
I haven't.
Couple
cannoli. First time we've had actual real Italian food. You have to go outside of the city to get it, so it was really nice.
Yeah, it was very good.
It was really good.
It was unbelievable.
Topper's Pizza.
You guys said some disparaging things, but
Who?
What?
You.
Whoa.
I don't know if you saw what Jimmy was wearing. Huh? Jimmy Galante? Ever heard of him?
No, it's okay. Jimmy. Jimmy gave you the pass. It's more about worried about potato breath over here.
I didn't say anything disparaging.
No, you did.
I didn't say anything. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
Little bit.
Nuh-uh.
You did.
Nuh-uh.
You did.
Nuh-uh.
All right. Anyways, what are you betting on then? I know Gumpy's a member of the Trash.
So
you guys are just losers? What's going on?
So it's a weird time where the NBA and NHL, we're like less than 10 games away from the playoffs. So like that time stinks. We're down to the Final Four. Congrats. Who cares?
What?
And then we're
Tony.
opening days next week.
Oh, first five.
Yeah.
First five is where the Hammered Down boys live. I can't wait to see you guys bounce back. Congrats on going through some failures for the first time in show's history.
Yeah. Here we go, boys.
You guys need to turn it around, though. Huh? That's a big part of the gimmick because you guys always win.
Tonight's a new night.
Yeah, you guys will. Yeah, you will.
Tonight.
Hey, tonight.
NIT,
Hey, you'll saddle that victory horse once again
kidding
tonight,
me?
won't you?
Yeah, no problem.
Pull it right out of the barn.
Volume shooters tonight. We'll shoot our way out of this.
That's right. You're actually going to say victory, and then the horse is going to go down there. And you're going to pull that horse right out of the barn, and you're saddling that thing tonight.
yeah.
Congrats to Hammer Down boys.
Way to go, boys.
Come on now, boys.
Joining us now is a man who just learned a lot about me all of a sudden by watching a video I made this past weekend alongside the boys and the Galante family, Cato Kalin and Canadian Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
AJ, how does it feel to be co-host alongside such an Italian paisan? Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. AJ, I don't know if you've seen that, and I'm happy you got to watch.
I seen that. Was that the first time you played that?
Yes.
Okay, good. I was wondering, did I miss this at some point, this play, and I didn't know it? So I'm glad I got to see it. And, hey, if Jimmy Galante says it, hey, it's as good as gold, so I can't go against him.
Man.
I'm against you doing it, but I can't go against him.
Well, I'm against you even thinking that you're smarter than Jimmy Galante when it comes to something like this.
Never said that at all.
Yeah, that's what you
Jimmy's
just
listening
said.
right now. Jimmy, you heard him. Hey, you heard this bullshit.
Hey, Jimmy, he knows. Jimmy's a smart guy. He knows. I agree with everything Jimmy's doing and everything that he says. That doesn't mean all of his associates I have to be 100% in on.
No.
So whatever you're doing, if he's
Cool.
sides,
Yeah.
All right, well, listen. You're the one that don't answer FaceTimes from Jimmy.
That's right.
Okay, you're the one that is now like, well, whatever he says, maybe.
That video was ridiculous, though. Watching you every 3 seconds just start going crazy. It was actually very funny.
Thank you. We didn't know exactly how to do the video because
the cuts to Z got me too.
Foxy Flick, by the way, that baby Foxy.
Hey.
Foxy is unbelievable at picking the pieces that tell a story, right? Hey, we got to get through the story. He's very good at it. And it takes a lot of time to go through all the shit. So, Foxy takes a lot of time to make those things, even if it's a 3-minute video or a 4-minute video or a 10-minute video. There's a lot that Foxy has to do. We are all very thankful, Foxy.
Thank you, Foxy.
Very, very thankful, Foxy, for that. With that being said, we didn't know exactly how to do it. I mean, there's a 15, 20-minute conversation that's pretty fucking good, too. But we didn't know how to. So there's going to be.
What's Cato doing? What is Cato Kalin doing?
Hey, in the next episode, okay, you'll find out from the man himself.
Yeah.
In the next episode from this conversation that we had, you will find out from it. I asked that question. That was my exact question, and it'll be worth a listen. I think it'll be worth a listen.
Okay, I'm guessing Cato is involved somehow as a host, MC, something. Maybe he's a celebrity fighter. I don't know. I can't wait.
Comedic relief.
Bro, this guy was. I mean, you're talking about and I think people say I have a lot of energy, and I'm very thankful for that. I think that's a compliment. I think having energy is a good thing. But man, people don't see me ever like this. I'm quiet in some situations. I am I will be quiet in some situations. I'm okay with not having to speak in some situations. I like just kind of sitting back and listening and doing that thing. Cato was on the entire. I mean, he was on. I'm like, God damn, this guy's stamina is fucking relentless. Mm-hmm. He was unbelievable. I'd never heard of him before other than the thing, and then meeting him in person, boom, he's in there. Now, he is super into politics, I did not know that was the case. Mm-hmm. I followed him on Twitter, and I was like, oh, this guy does the politics. Is
he right down the middle, or is he lean one side?
Oh, yeah.
Right down the middle.
Yeah. Everybody that does politics always right down the middle. That's any of the people that do politics. That world. I don't know how he has that much energy, and he's also in that world because it feels like, in my eyes, you just get attacked all day. But some people thrive, I guess. He was super.
Oh, yeah.
He was fucking going,
Throwing
AJ.
to the crowd.
He was a fan of yours, AJ. He was a big fan of yours.
Did you ask him any good questions about the juice?
I will say trials and tribulations did get brought up.
Yeah.
Trials and tribulations did get brought up, because there was multiple people who had trials that were sitting in that room. You know what I mean? Myself included. Myself included.
There may have been evidence introduced as well into the conversation.
Yes.
Did he have the other glove there?
Well,
maybe.
Anyways,
A glass case.
I want to ask you about a couple things going on in the world. There was no glove there, obviously. Come on. But next episode, whenever it comes out, there will be a Kato Kalin sighting and all the thing. This was just, how can we get a video together by Tuesday that makes the announcement and is pretty solid? Boom, here it is. But there will be a follow-up episode or 3 about everything else at one time.
AJ should get in the Ice Wars.
Oh. Yeah, what are you going to do? Just Carson Wentz your way out there, and then you just got to get a good base, right? And then you start doing that fucking
kicks.
That kicks that you know about. That'll distract them, and then pow, right in the kisser. You know what I mean? On skates, it'd be great.
I better brush up on my skating though. Don't you think I need to have a little better base underneath me?
Dude, think about this though. Did you see the clip in there of they tried this one time, and I didn't see it. I don't think anybody saw it until it was like mentioned to me. They're like, hey, we got this thing going on. I'm like, oh, what is it? And they sent it to me. So it's literally just ice. Like, I feel like it's like blue line to blue line. It feels like it's the length of the ice. I might be wrong. No?
I'm not sure the length. If you saw Goon 2, everyone liked Goon, the hockey movie. If you saw Goon 2, a big part of the plot is they do something like this. They kind of went to the original Ice Wars, replicated it for the movie.
Really?
And did it in there. Yeah, so they had Doug Glatt and Ross DeVos Ray in there doing that.
But it's going to be that has to be like a electrifying ice.
Oh, yeah.
On ice? Like that.
I like that he said if you don't like what one of the judges, how he scored the fight, you can call him out for your next fight.
And I was going to ask the follow-up there, like, well, that's going to be everybody that loses. So, are you going to have 100 fights in the next one?
Yeah, you got to knock him out, right? So you can win by knockout?
Yeah, I think you can win by knockout, yeah.
So you just got to win by knockout. Don't let it go to the judges.
This is the original here.
Oh, this is awesome.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's dark.
How many fights in one night?
So they have 8 heavyweights fighting for the king of the rink title, the crown, happening on May 21st. I don't know how you do the fights. I don't know how many that is. Do the math. They don't know who they're fighting until weigh-ins. So it's just like a random draw. And they're all over 200 pounds, under 200 pounds.
That guy's buddy had the machine gun.
Yeah,
Jesus.
They're going to get some 300-pound.
Oh, yeah.
Big
bodies.
Oh, yeah. And he said he's going to have intros for these guys. They're going to come skating
WrestleMania-esque.
WrestleMania-esque, yeah. I mean, that is, hey, good getting that clip. I think it's going to be awesome.
Is Butterbean around? We could probably strap some skates on that guy.
I think the skating is a big part of it because normally the better skaters are the better fighters.
But what if we rig the skates for AJ where he rolls out and then they kind of anchor themselves into the ice so they can't go anywhere and he's kind of just like a rock'em sopping robot?
Oh, you're saying like AJ's on somebody's shoulders who can skate.
Sure, that works too.
And whoever he's fighting is on somebody else's shoulders. And it's like chicken fight.
Chicken fight's on ice, so when I fall, it's not that far.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
And instead of the pool, it's actually ice.
Right. Your the ice will break the fall.
And you're wearing blades.
So that'll end with CTE every fight.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so maybe we don't do that. But that's how we could get our friend AJ in who can't skate.
Be perfect.
All right, we'll pitch it. We'll pitch the idea. We know the guys. AJ, can you skate? No.
I'm okay.
Kid's birthday party, he was absolutely shredding.
Oh, yeah, he was
goals on
spraying
everybody.
kids.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I forgot all about that. Sam Roberts is going to join us in like a minute or two. You're going to get a chance to meet him for the first time ever, AJ, after being a lifelong fan. This is exciting.
That is exciting. Yeah. Does he have a role in WrestleMania?
I believe he's on the kickoff. I think he hosts the kickoff show for NXT, I believe. Let's
go.
I'm not 100% sure.
NXT runs when? Like Saturday during the day?
Yes. Look at you. On the cock. Peacock.
Whoops.
Wow. Look at you.
I just know the schedule, man. I see it. It's they do a good job promoting. They really do.
Friday night, WrestleMania SmackDown, followed by the Hall of Fame. Saturday, NXT in the afternoon. Then WrestleMania Saturday kickoff show. WrestleMania Saturday. Then WrestleMania Sunday. I don't know if they have a kickoff show. Probably a kickoff show. Then WrestleMania Sunday. And then a pow!
Hell yeah.
Right in the kisser. You know what I mean, AJ?
Is that what you're going to do to Austin Theory?
I haven't figured it out yet. Me and my coaches have been going through strategy and game plan.
Expecting
on how that's definitely sounds on. We're calling him right now. Update from the back. We were calling Sam Roberts right now.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out what the right strategy is. You know, because one kick, it's over.
Yeah.
And I know that. They know that. We know that. So maybe you have to because I've been throwing bombs in the Oculus a lot. Right
I mean, you're going to want to punch him in the mouth at least 4 or 5 times. You
Have
can't.
to.
Yeah, have to.
What does Taker want you to do?
Well, I haven't got Taker's opinion yet. I will talk to him.
I thought he was your coach. That's
No, he's not a part of the coach now. I will let everybody know who the coaching staff is.
Okay.
Who is potentially an ear for ideas after said match.
Okay.
Because I don't want anybody to think or get an idea on what my strategy is going to be because of who I'm talking to.
Yeah, they might study tape on that.
But we
guy,
can
then
rule
all of a
out
sudden-
Taker.
Taker, unfortunately, is not a part of the team. Okay. Not that he wouldn't.
True.
If I didn't awkwardly force him to, like
Yeah.
Like imagine if I won SmackDown. I tried to ask Taker for some advice. He said no. So now I'm gonna Taker's like the nicest guy of all time allegedly to the entire locker room, like the leader, the guy you go to. But he's going in Hall of Fame. Yeah, he's got a lot going on.
Celebration.
He's going in on Friday. Joining us now, maybe a part of the council.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Not 100% sure. Maybe a part of the council. We'll obviously let everybody know if he is or not after WrestleMania Sunday. Host of the Jim and Sam show. Incredible WWE panelist and historian. One of the best brains I've ever been around. And he knows absolutely nothing about sports. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Roberts.
Guys, thanks.
Sam. AJ Hawk is starstruck right now, dude. This is the first time he's getting to meet you. Is that true or is that not true? And did you know he is a massive fan of your show?
Yeah, Sam,
had no
I watched your show going back. Going back in the day, so then when you took over with Jim, I'm sorry stepping all over you here. I should have figured this out
It's a
by
rough
now.
start.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I've
come
seen all your
on.
stuff, man. It's good to see your face and actually kind of meet you.
It's good to meet you too. I'm a fan of yours, except from this show and also from NXT because you were on NXT. True. So that's where I know you from. And by the way, you're fantastic on both.
Oh,
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Guys, it's starting out bad, but I feel like it's getting
Best friend.
real quick. Look at his friendship blossoming right in front of our eyes. Sam, for people that don't know, maybe watching you on YouTube, you were once an intern for a massive Sirius show. Then you became basic co-host of said show. Now you're still co-host of said show. Just did a new deal, I believe, with Sirius XM cashing in, and you're really fucking good at what you do. Is that an accurate depiction of your life's timeline?
Man, I'm trying to find any flaw in what you just said, and I can't.
right.
It sounds like you read Wikipedia before I got here. That's perfect.
Well, I know you now, and I got to meet you at those NXT panels, and you helped me out so much. So I will ask you this publicly, although my entire strategy team will be kept privately until after the match because I don't want anybody. No, what do you think I should be trying to do in there, huh? Everybody knows the legs coming, Sam. Austin knows the legs coming. He's 24. He's insufferable. He's not dumb.
No.
He's not dumb. He knows so you think pow right in the kisser early? You think is that what you're thinking, Sam? What do you think the mindset should be to go in and win this thing?
Look, he's going to be studying tape. Yeah. He's going to be there with Mr. McMahon studying tape. And Mr. McMahon's probably going to give him some tips, okay? Because I saw Mr. McMahon in there with you, and he was reading you the whole time. You know, he was thinking about the potential conflict because he loved this conflict. I learned that. I think your move is to kick his legs out from under him to start. Because he'll go, okay, I watched him on NXT. He's going to try to kick me in the head. I'm going to protect the head. You kick him right in the shins. Break the shins to start the match, and he will never recover.
Oh, my God. There's a lot of this after that.
Like McGregor.
Yes.
Then you can go to work on the knee.
Yeah. Then I do a little pa-da-da, you know what I mean? Then you just got to sit back. It's a punching bag.
Bottom up. You go from the bottom up. You stop on the toes, kick the shin, take out the knees, beat up the quads.
This guy.
What?
Hamstrings too, turn them over.
What?
Like, you know what I mean? Get the hammy in there. Bruise that thing.
Yeah. By the time you get to the pecs, you've won this match.
Hell yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Maybe the abs. He's got a lot of them.
Yeah.
True.
He's got a lot of abs, so maybe about midway up. Go ahead, AJ.
Sam, what are the odds that Mr. Vince McMahon comes out and maybe gets a cheap shot on Pat, hits him in the back of the head, tries to instigate it a little bit because Pat is kind of messing with his guy.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that a lot. And here's my theory on that, because at first I noticed the camaraderie going on between Vince McMahon and Pat on the show.
Thank you. What the fuck happened? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I was like, maybe Pat is Vince's new guy. And I was like, how come Vince has never treated me like that? You know what I mean? He's like, I'm not going to do that Mark's podcast. I'll do Pat's podcast. And I was like, why do you do that? And then I went, wait a minute. What does Pat have to offer Vince McMahon? Pat can act as a catalyst to put Vince McMahon's guy in a high-profile match at WrestleMania. Pat is a high-profile guy. Vince McMahon wants to push Austin Theory as the next big superstar. What better way to make this guy a superstar than to ease Pat into a trust, only to stab him in the back when it counts the most?
Whoa, Sam.
Come on.
So, and you think that Vince is even like, yeah, he's the next guy, but like he's going to lose to Pat. Like you think that, obviously, like that's what you're thinking Vince is thinking? Like this guy maybe needs to be humbled a little bit because he did tell me, right, he had an ego there for like 6 months or whatever, and then he didn't. Yeah. So maybe he's doing this to teach Austin Theory a lesson. Like, hey, listen, Austin, you need to I'm giving you the world right now. It started with an egg. You remember this thing started with an egg? And now I'm giving you the entire world right now, okay? And you're getting a little bit too egotistical, a little bit too much. What are you doing? I'm going to humble you, okay? We got guys just floating around on the commentary table. All right? This is WWE. We got people just on the commentary table that could get in a ring and kick your ass. You think that is what he's thinking in there?
I don't know if you listened to my theory at all. Like, I don't know if like you went into Pat world for a while and then just waited for your turn to talk. I think
probably.
Yeah, what I think is going on here is that you are being used.
No. No, that's why I just said I just gave an alternate. I just gave a very much an alternative side. And I
No.
Yeah. It was an alternative Pat world. No, I heard what you said. Yeah, and it's not real. It's not real. I didn't feel that.
I'm the
I didn't feel that at all. Did you guys feel that?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, we haven't felt that. No, when he came in, he was right here.
Klein, for
right
sure.
here. Don't be so jealous.
Mark.
Look,
his name's Sam.
You call me a historian, right? I'm not. It's not an anti-Pat thing. I love you. But the fact is that as a historian, I know something about Mr. McMahon. He's as evil as a human being has ever been.
I disagree.
He's as evil as the day is long. And Pat, he's lured you into a false sense of security. And I do believe that you're going to find out. I don't want to see it. I want to see you go to WrestleMania, kick a guy's head off, take a selfie, do the whole thing, come back right here on the Pat McAfee Show with a big trophy that says WrestleMania King of the World.
Yeah! Hell yeah! Woo!
That's gonna be awesome.
Here we go.
Hey, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Hey, get ready for that, boys.
This is awesome.
Be prepared for that. Maybe we have another green beer egg keg in here.
Yeah.
If that's going to happen.
Sure.
I'd like some, and I need one of those rock cheat meals as well for
hell yeah.
French toast stacked up. I need that sushi, the chocolate chip cookies, the pizza, the flapjack. I need it all. Okay? That's what I'm going to need. Let's do that because did you hear what we're doing?
What?
Oh, my God.
Trophy.
That is amazing.
Let's go.
Woo!
No, I'm saying that that's what I would like to see happen. That's not going to happen.
Oh, go to hell.
Mark. This guy stinks. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. Look at you. What do you know? You don't know shit,
For
pal.
shoot, you stink, dude.
Yeah, for shoot.
Yeah,
dude.
for shoot.
For shoot. Dude.
First of all, like, you guys can crotch chop at the Barclays Center all day long.
Yeah, goddamn right we can.
Part of the show. Part of the show.
This is the future of sports media.
Well, sports entertainment as well, pal. That's coming into your world. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, all right. Look, the bicep was impressive. That was impressive.
I've been dieting really well.
I think, Pat, sometimes you get lost in your own hubris, and I think that Mr. McMahon, Mr. McMahon sees that as a weakness, and I believe that this match with Austin Theory is designed to make Austin Theory Mr. McMahon's next big star. Mr. McMahon likes to make money. Austin Theory is money for years for Mr. McMahon.
Well, listen, if my hubris was your hubris, I'd probably feel the same exact way. Because then my hubris would be a fucking negative one. That's
right.
Okay, it would
That's
be, oh my God, gloom and doom, everything stinks. Why is this happening? Okay, that's not my hubris. Your hubris stinks. Okay, my hubris, good time. Did you hear what we're having? We're having French toast pizza, chocolate chip cookies, sushi, celebrating. I think you said a crown at one point. I mean, do you hear my hubris right now, dude? And then listen to your fucking hubris. You know, I don't need that hubris, dude.
Do you know what hubris means?
No, not a clue. I did a context clue there, and I thought I figured it out, and it really said like your aura, your
no,
okay,
bone in your leg.
No,
it's close.
No, that's not what that word means.
What about the humorous?
That's what I'm thinking.
Humorous.
In your shoulder.
Yeah, no, that's not what that word means.
Oh, so what was the word again? Hubris.
Yep.
It's a sense of self-pride or confidence, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lazy definition if I've ever heard it.
This one was Google, I think, not the old-fashioned dictionary. Sorry about it. But obviously, I hope you're incredibly wrong. Sorry about all that. Go ahead, AJ.
Sam, so I don't know if Pat's worried or not, but I think I've heard rumblings. He's a little worried that maybe Logan Paul, Johnny Knoxville, maybe some of these guys may overshadow his appearance at WrestleMania.
Okay, that is
Bad
where
Bunny, maybe? I don't know.
No,
it's a great question because I watched the Logan Paul training video. They made a video of Logan Paul getting in the ring, and he's like, yeah, look at me. I'm going to jump off the top rope and everything. Listen, I would love to just destroy Pat McAfee on this one. But the fact is that every time Pat McAfee has stepped up, he's blown everyone away. Pat, and here's the thing that people need to remember. All right, I'm the wrestling guy here, okay? The Logan Paul match is a celebrity match. The Johnny Knoxville match is a celebrity match. Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory is a WrestleMania match.
Thank you for that, Sam. That made me feel, I just got some goosebumps here. About the same size as that head of yours. It looks like I got 1,000 of your heads on my arm right now. Thank you for that, dude.
It's true. I saw what you did. Look, here's what I saw. I saw you open a can of whoop ass on Austin Theory on SmackDown.
What?
I saw you beat him into oblivion.
What? Appreciate that.
I saw you make him think twice.
What? In these boots. In these boots, Sam. No grip on the bottom of these things. You see that?
My God.
By the way,
look at that.
You be doing yoga?
Pretty flexible.
Wow. What is this all about?
I think Austin Theory's head print is still in that one.
Hell yeah. Actually, what you're seeing there is the residue of a mud hole.
What?
That got stomped.
What?
That's what I'm talking about. Sam, what will you be doing for WrestleMania? I mean, I think the people that aren't necessarily all in on wrestling, they let me know that they're not all in on wrestling every time we tweet or post about wrestling because I am a sports show. But WrestleMania is such a spectacle every single year. Like, there's going to be numerous things that crack into the everyday world. What are you excited for? What are you looking forward to? And why should people who maybe aren't into wrestling look forward to WrestleMania weekend?
That's what I love about WrestleMania weekend, especially now that it's 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. People are going to be able, if you've ever watched a minute of wrestling, even if you haven't, you turn on Peacock. It's streaming on the cock. You turn on Peacock this weekend, and you're going to see the difference that Vince McMahon himself described on your show. Sports entertainment versus pro wrestling. WrestleMania is a spectacle. It's a show unlike any other. I've never heard from a person who has watched a WrestleMania and not been like, God damn, was that a fun show?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Putting on a fun show, and by the way, watching Pat McAfee kick Austin Theory's head off before being betrayed by Mr. McMahon.
No,
I don't think so.
He came right here and had a conversation with me.
Good guy.
It was good. He shook Boston Connor's hand. He shook their hand.
Shouldn't have.
Vince said, let's go shake their hands.
Exactly.
And he did.
Yeah. He said, I want to shake your hand.
Right here.
Yeah.
Look, I saw Brock Lesnar on your show. You guys seem like best friends, but then I was in Brooklyn on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And you ran so fast you fell on your face because you knew that if Brock caught you, he would have ripped your head off your body.
Yeah.
It's just the name of the game.
That chair would have came across my head, I think. By the way, Brock Lesnar comes on, great conversation. We have great conversations all the time, you know?
Yeah.
All the time. Great conversation.
Yeah.
Every time we have a conversation, great conversation. And when I saw him just walking around with that goddamn chair and he was heading back towards commentary table, and I potentially knew how much time was left in the show at that time, and I knew something was going to have to happen, a lot of things started adding up for me, and I'm like, oh no, this one ain't for me, I don't think so. This is a situation, if you watch the film back, and we have it, Foxy has it, if a bear is ever chasing you, what do they say, right? You don't have to outrun the bear, you just have to outrun whoever's with you. Right? Because the bear will then get said person. You watch that back, I fucking skip in front of Michael Cole. Like, he's to my left, obviously, and I'm sprinting to the right. I jump up over a chair past Michael Cole, headphones off, right into the crowd. That is, and as I was sprinting out, the wires for like the cameras were kind of being moved, you know, because he was running all over the place. Tricked me. I landed right on my, like, almost my face in the Barclays Center out of there, nowhere. And I may or may not have talked to Cowboy Brock afterwards, and his only response was, "Your eyes were so big." He said, "I've never seen your eyes so large." I guess whenever we made eye contact and he started marching back towards me, the eyes just went like, oh no. And he saw me going, no fucking way is this happening. And then I got out of there. Wrestling is so much fun. I have no idea how people don't fall in love with it. I don't get it, honestly.
And that's the thing too, like with somebody like Brock too, and I think that people who aren't wrestling fans don't understand that, like, it's not just fun and games. Like, if Brock Lesnar catches you, Brock Lesnar makes his money convincing people that he can kick the shit out of people. If you don't run away fast enough, if Brock Lesnar catches you, we're not going to do a wrestling play. We're not going to, you know, pull our punches. Brock Lesnar's going to kick the shit out of you.
Because he has to.
That's how he makes his money.
Because that is who he is. That is what has to happen. And that's the difference between, I think, like, you know, the WWE and some other type of shows, you know, that happen live. It's like, I guess there is like a, hey, this is going to happen, but like, is it? I mean, it is. It's wild out there. I've enjoyed it so much. You doing the kickoff shows, was that your first? That's your first dip into the actual company? And how long did they know? Like, oh, we got this guy who does this massive show that AJ Hawk's a fan of, and he's just a big fan of ours. How did that whole thing start?
I was on Opie and Anthony first, and I'd been doing wrestling interviews for a long time whenever I could. And I was kind of doing my own side shows and everything, and I was moving, and I met Michael Cole years ago, and he knew that I was a huge fan, but also knew that, you know, I did these interviews and tried to bring him into the mainstream world that I was a part of. And then it actually was it was the first year that I started doing Jim and Sam. I got a phone call, and it was from Michael Cole, and he said, look, dude, I've been trying to get people from the outside media world as part of these kickoff shows forever, and I finally got an approval on it. You're the first phone call. Do you want to come to a kickoff show? I was like, yeah, Michael Cole. Yeah,
here we go.
I want to come to a kickoff show.
Yeah,
that sounds great. And he goes, okay, we'll bring you in this once. We'll bring you in for this one show, and then we'll see how it goes.
Hey, if you're the shits, we ain't calling you back. I mean, sorry.
That was 5 years ago.
Oh, let's go!
Me.
No big deal. You're like the old vet on those. Well, when I got there, you were, because you knew so much more than I did. It was fun. It was fun working with you, though, man. I'll never forget. He had to do my tie because they were forcing me to wear a tie. There early, I didn't know how to tie. I didn't know how to do it, so he tied my tie in there. It was a good time, Sam. I was very lucky for you, man. Go ahead, Ty.
Sam, being as big of a fan of the industry as you are, and you've had, you know, Undertaker and all these guys on your podcast, do you ever get starstruck when you're around some of these people who you've been fans of like your entire life?
Yeah, I mean, especially like the guys who don't really have a separation from that character. Like, you could talk to the Undertaker 100 times, he's still going to be the Undertaker. Like, when you meet Vince, I'm sure you guys know, you're not like, oh, Mr. McMahon the performer, but this is Vince. You're like, it's one and the same. Stone Cold's like that, you know, it's one and the same. And so, yeah, there is this weird kind of starstruck and separation that you make when you're like, no, like I'm not sitting on my couch watching this thing or analyzing this thing or coming up with storytelling ideas. Like, this is the human being. And it's really amazing to get into those guys' brains and where they kind of take their performance and blend in the reality, and then when the performance comes into their reality and vice versa, it's amazing.
The attention to detail, I don't think gets talked about a lot. Like there's so many thoughts behind everything. Why your hair is the way it is, what clothes you're wearing, why you walk the way you walk, talk the way you talk. Like there is so much attention to detail in it. I think people that aren't into it have no idea, but it is wild. Go ahead, AJ.
Sam, is there a chance that we may see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson possibly show up to WrestleMania? I know he's season 2 of Young Rock has already started, and that's obviously gangbusters. But is he going to find some time, you think, and maybe come out there?
I would love to see it. If he does, it should be to confront Pat for trying to steal his catchphase every other week.
They haven't let me hit it yet. You know this. Yeah, they haven't let me hit it yet. That's unbelievable.
You'll get it in there.
I hope so. Maybe.
I think it's a matter of time, man. I think when you look at what Roman has been doing and the level that he's been doing it on, I think there's an inevitability there. And whether it's this year at WrestleMania, whether it's next year, whether it's 5 years from now, I mean, The Rock keeps himself in fighting shape. That's obvious. So, I think it's a matter of time before Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Roman Reigns are face to face. And yeah, when that happens, I'm gonna look like that meme from South Park with the guy sitting at the computer. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Jesus.
Super excited.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just babies everywhere.
Sam loves it.
Wow.
Sam loves it. Hey, okay, here we go. So that's the biggest match of all time in your eyes, huh?
Right now, Rock versus Roman. I mean, you know it because you get to see it every week. But the stuff that Roman is doing right now.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's not next level wrestling storytelling. It's next level storytelling. It's the best thing on TV. Ooh. There's nothing better than Roman Reigns and the Bloodline and We the Ones and the whole thing. It's
Sam,
incredible.
do you watch anything other than wrestling? Do you?
I watch a ton of stuff. Yeah, I watch a lot of TV. Only thing I don't watch is sports.
That's awesome.
I love movies. I love shows. I'm watching that Uber show on Showtime.
Super pumped, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. So do you think like that's how you get that's probably how he, like, why don't you watch sports though? Never was introduced to sports? Like, was wrestling the only introduction to sports?
Well, my dad would have loved if I was into sports. Like, my dad's a big baseball fan. He likes football. He went to Michigan State, so he watches football and everything. He was impressed that, like, I was getting to share the stage with you when we were doing those kickoff shows because, I mean, you're Pat McAfee. And plus, my uncle grew up in Indianapolis, so he's like, "Does Sam know Pat?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. What is he, the guy with the podcast?"
Yeah, exactly. But you're like so synonymous now with wrestling. Like your entire, in our world, I guess. Now, Jim and Sam, obviously different. You do a lot of comedy with comedians, but you're like one of the most synonymous people with wrestling out there right now. Almost a voice of wrestling and for wrestling.
I mean, I love it. It's been the thing that I've loved more than anything since anything I can remember. Like, when I'm a little kid, I'm dressed up as wrestlers. And there's no dip out, right? Like, there's no, like, I'm a little kid who's super into wrestling, and then I dip out and start dating and doing cool things and then get back into wrestling. Like, that middle part never happened. So it's just all the way through, obsessed with wrestling. Nobody understands it, but, I mean, when wrestling's good, man, when professional wrestling, sports entertainment, when it's good, there's nothing better on the planet.
I agree, by the way. I'm a big fan. I'm very...
Hey, Sam, Pat, I got a quick question. Sam, you ever think about packing maybe 30, 40 pounds of muscle on and getting inside that ring?
I mean, look, I don't want to say anything. I have filled out a little bit in the last couple of years.
Wow. Have you?
A little bit, yeah, sure. I'm in there. Look, there's another thing that I've faced from the time I was a very young man, right? It's that, number one, I love wrestling. Number two, there's an element of genetics that goes into being an athlete, right? Like, there are a lot of people who, no matter how bad they want it, there's an element, there's hard work and practice and a brain that works on the field and all this stuff, but also an element of genetics is the first step. And that was a hurdle to get past. When I'm 7 or 8 years old, I'm going to be a wrestler when I grow up. And my parents are like, Well, yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, good for you then. So yeah, I mean, of course, I would love to, but at the same time, my coordination and athletic ability might prohibit that.
I've seen, we tried to call you yesterday so AJ could say hello. That's why we had today, and he said he was in the gym.
Wow.
Said he was in the gym. Are you lifting, running? What are you trying to do? To live longer or get buff?
No, I'm no cardio. Lift. Okay. You know who helped?
That's hilarious.
Helped me with my deadlift.
Oh.
World's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Oh, wow. That guy can deadlift a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's his idea of, I think he thought we were like in the middle when we maxed out. He was still in this space and telling me to put 30 more pounds on. Like, bro.
No, that's it for today. Thanks. Thanks, Mark. He's a great dude. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Sam, you're talking about Vince McMahon possibly stabbing Pat in the back, and we all know that's not going to happen. But what about the wise man with the tribal chief? Because it seems like he might flip-flop with Brock Lesnar if things go wrong for Roman.
Man, here's the thing about the wise man is that even if he wanted to flip-flop, I don't even think Brock would take him back at this point.
Oh, no.
Brock's this type of guy. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, can't fool me again. And that's Brock Lesnar. So, I think that Paul Heyman.
You said that, not me. Just want to let everybody know. I saw him with a chair. Yeah, you
might have to learn how to run.
Yeah. Well, maybe a little cardio.
I think Paul Heyman sees who and what Roman is right now. I don't think Paul Heyman is flip-flopping. I don't think, even when he was back with Brock for a hot minute there, I don't think it was a serious thing. I think that his heart was with Roman Reigns from the beginning. I think his heart remains with Roman Reigns. And honestly, if you're looking at the landscape, God bless Brock Lesnar, but if you can attach yourself to any superstar in the world of sports entertainment right now, Roman Reigns is that guy.
AJ, how about your thoughts?
Yeah, I love Roman. What do you mean with his football background? He came on the show. He was awesome. But I will add one more quick one for Sam.
Oh, no thoughts?
What?
No thoughts on what Paul Heyman should do?
What about the wise man,
AJ?
A big reason I'm a fan of this guy is because he came on your show, Sam, and was a great character. Fandango, back in the day. What the hell happened, and why is this guy not in the WWE?
Man, I love Fandango. He came on. That was WrestleMania 29 to promote himself. He had Jim Norton lotion up his body for him. He had the sequins on and everything in that radio studio. He is an incredible entertainer. I love that guy, and he was around for a while. I think the thing with Fandango, and this is the thing that people run into, is that there's a short shelf life on things, and it's like, okay, we've established that he's a ballroom dancer. Okay, we've established that he's a good wrestler. Where do we go from here? And you kind of pin yourself into this corner because it's not like he can say, well, I'm not a ballroom dancer anymore. Because then you go, well, then why the hell is your name Fandango? Right? And so it gets a little lost in
Hey, I was potentially a part of his last seg on WWE television. Yeah.
Really?
I think so, yeah. We got to meet him, as did AJ, and AJ said these exact same things to him in person as he just asked you. And, I think it was his last seg. I kicked Tyler Breeze, I believe.
Yes.
Fandango left after that. He commented on one of my Instagrams. He said, "You retired me, kid." He is hilarious. That dude, hilarious human being.
Here's the best part about Fandango. Last year at NXT Stand and Deliver, he was on the pre-show in a tag match with Tyler Breeze. And he said that they called him either day of or the night before saying, hey, can you come to Orlando and be a part of this pre-show? And he said, can I dress like a pirate? And they said, yeah, I guess so. He goes, all right, then I'll do it. He would only come if he could do the match dressed as a pirate.
Hilarious.
And you bet your about $1 he was dressed as a pirate that night.
His commitment to that Dango character was unbelievable. Now he's wrestling, I think, in underwear. Like, actually, I saw him post something. He is fantastic. I believe he's a contractor as well, builds homes.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Yeah,
building.
like a guy you would like to meet for sure. Go ahead, Tone.
Sam, what do you think's going to happen to that imitative, unoriginal, uninventive, cliched, predictable clown, Kevin Owens?
Yes.
It would be stupendous if the Texas rattlesnake killed him.
Hell yeah.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
Wow. I mean, I don't know that I could advocate for the straight up murder of the WWE superstar.
Man.
I don't know that I want to see Kevin Owens dead.
Kevin Owens did not deserve that.
Yeah, he did.
God damn it.
Look, I tell you this: Kevin Owens was very abusive to the audience on Raw a couple of weeks ago, playing that Stone Cold song, letting the glass shatter twice in one segment, and roping these people along.
Awesome.
Look, man, I can't imagine anything that would satisfy a stadium full of people in Dallas more than hearing that glass shatter and watching Stone Cold Steve Austin trudge to the ring. I'm going to go shorts, no shirt, vest, and just start dropping stunners on everybody. But here's why I'm excited, okay?
With Eugene.
Because this ain't Steve Austin. This isn't just like a little appearance from an ex-WWE guy. Stone Cold is back. I heard it in the promo. I heard it with what Kevin Owens was saying. For the first time since 19, Stone Cold is back.
Yeah. That's right.
That's what we're looking forward to.
Goddamn right. Thank you so much, Sam, for your time today.
Thank you.
Honestly, you are such a nice AJ is the worst.
Just going through the Rolodex in my head of wrestling.
I mean, look.
It took him 2 months.
2 months.
Eugene versus Gilbert. See you there.
All right. I appreciate you, Sam. That was
You're the
incredible.
man, Pat.
I think a lot of people just got a chance to witness somebody who has an incredible passion for sports entertainment. And there's arenas sold out every single week, 2 times a week. It is crazy to feel the WWE universe out there every single week. It's awesome. It's really my only time out of either this office or my house is when I'm in these arenas. And it is. And if we come to a town near you, it is worth it. The live shows are, you can literally yell, kill him to somebody. It's awesome. As are you, ladies and gentlemen, Sam Roberts. Thank you.
Thank you.
WrestleMania 5 days away. AJ, my
go.
WrestleMania debut.
So close. When are you heading out of town?
I think Manana. We'll have a house down there, though. We'll do the show from the house. Boys are coming. We'll also have a couple people perch out back here because we have to for tech purposes. So we're going to have a good time. Continue to be able to do the show as is, coming to you live from a rather monster, I think, Airbnb down there.
Here we go.
It's interesting. The neighborhood we're going into, I guess, is not going to be necessarily thrilled.
You going to like Highland Park, one of those nice areas?
I'm not sure. We know the address. We don't know the area, I don't think. Zito's got to fucking drive. Hey, Z, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve.
I'll find out if it's in the Highland
Safe
Park.
travels down there. Zito's driving down there because all of our camera equipment that we have to take down and all of our stuff. It's a Zito production down there, and it's going to be glorious. And we appreciate you, Z. That conversation with Sam Roberts, I assume, and I get the tweets from people that watch the show that hate whenever we talk wrestling. It's like, man, I understand. Okay, I got something big coming up here. I'm appreciative of the boys' support. I'm appreciative of AJ's support. But it is a cool thing, too. Maybe you should check out every once in a while.
Yeah.
Maybe you should check it out. It is. Obviously, you can't go in there and be like, all right, I want this to go by the book.
WrestleMania is different, too.
Oh,
It is.
Brantley Gilbert, I believe, is performing.
What?
I believe Brantley Gilbert.
What day?
Saturday.
When do they have performers?
I'm not sure.
Saturday.
At halftime.
I honestly wish I could tell anybody anything, but I think they purposely don't tell me anything because I have this show every day. Let's not tell Pat till the day of, please. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, he is a little mouthy, a little long-winded.
And who knows? Maybe you do break some news whenever there's not much going on in free agency.
Well, yeah, what is going on? The rules change. We got to get to a break. We'll be back on the other side to wrap up this hour. Then we'll dive into the rules changes. I was trying to bide some time there with an incredible conversation with Sam Roberts for something to happen. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Something would happen.
Talk about how Andy Dalton goes Saints affects Ian Book, okay?
Yeah, see, that's not our show.
Yeah, they got to look at Ian Book, too, unfortunately.
We just did it. We're back in 4 minutes. This is the Pat McAfee Show. We'll see you then.
I want to tell you a story. A story about a young man who once had a gambling problem, perhaps, before all these Fanduel sports books. The greatest app, the greatest place to gamble existed. There were bookies, there were illegal gambling rings. And one time, yes, I was a part of one. And I could not pay my bill, per se. I broke my legs. But now, because of Fanduel Sportsbook, they saved my life. That's why I will always gamble with the #1 sportsbook in America, Fanduel Sportsbook.
You have got to experience so many things, both as a businessman off the field and on the field. Is there a moment when I ask this question that pops your mind, like, what's the craziest shit you've ever seen in your entire life? Because there was a time there where it felt like you were just getting dropped into insane situations and the world was like watching you do things. Man vs. Wild, you and that Bear Grylls guy, fucking electric. That was maybe the most electric shit I've ever seen. Is there anything that you think of whenever you think, like, what's the most ridiculous thing you've been a part of?
Probably some of the most ridiculous shit I ever been a part of was, I had got the restaurant which I'm in right now, and when we first got it, I would come in here and I would, clean up and go outside in the front, sweep up, make sure everything looked nice and shit. And one morning I got up here and I noticed, damn, this is a funky ass smell. And I looked, to the side of my front door, and it's a big ass pile of shit. And I'm talking about human shit.
Yeah,
and it's right on the side of the door. So I was like, somebody done came and popped the shit right in front of the door. Like, oh, this shit is crazy. Like, I can't be in here serving food. Motherfucker come walk in and they smelling straight ass cheeks when they come in there. Like, I don't think that's the restaurant I need to eat in. So, man, I get the water hose and I'm hosing it down. And, I see, we got a couple, dolphins that usually walk back up in front. Hey, man, did you do this? Like, oh, no. So, one of them owned up to it. I said, man, check it out. So you don't do this no more. Look, you come by here, we get you we get you a broom and, you help us, we help you. You feel me? And, we put together a little, I put a proposition together for him, and I ain't cleaning up shit no more.
It's a win-win. It's a win for everybody on that one. Hey, one of your former teammates. Yeah, hey, everybody wins. You're helping the people, man. That's awesome. That's why people love you. But hey,
one of them owned up to it. Just a line of questioning. The line of questioning.
His name was Willie. Willie owned up to. Matter of fact, he just left out. He saying sweeping up. He like, hey, what's up? Oh boy, I've been looking for you. You feel? Okay. Yeah, we bust down together up in the front of the restaurant to get it all cleaned up and everything.
Hey, you're helping people. Hey, Willie went from shitting outside to working inside. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go, Willie. Let's go.
Give it up for my boy Willie, man.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here, hour 2. Wrapping up with the incredible AJ Hawk joining the toxic table in one half of the Hammer Down Cowboys turn Diggs. Just got done with Sam Roberts, chit-chatting with him. Hour 3 on the other side of this 6-minute break for the SiriusXM listeners who have to hate the listening habits of this show.
Sorry about it.
We appreciate you, though. We want to let everybody know we do appreciate you, but We apologize because sometimes conversations get going and they get going great. AJ, how about you participating in a full-on WWE wrestling conversation, adding to it, and also being referenced as being a part of wrestling television? Look at you, AJ.
Oh, Hawk.
Congrats.
Yeah, I've gotten a real education over the last few years here on this program through the whole wrestling world. So, yeah, it's been fun.
I know. I feel like we're obviously one of the only ones that actually talk about it. But I know that there's a separation of sports fans and sports entertainment fans. But I feel like Wrestlemania is worthy of a crossover conversation, I think.
Yeah.
I always try to respect. People are coming to me for my sports conversations. I get it, okay? But also, I'm a part of this too, and it's Wrestlemania, so I feel like it deserves some conversation, but it is something I do consciously think about.
No, I mean, I saw Skip and Shannon were breaking it down earlier today.
Hey, Shannon said, I would have whooped Will Smith. I would have had to. It was a great promo. He cut a promo that was great. It was trending for like 4 or 5 hours. He cut a full on, if he was Chris Rock, what would have happened? And I'm like, imagine if Will Smith did get up and slap Shannon Sharp, who is one of the most physically fit humans of all time. Hey, he is super young.
Still at 50-something, right?
Yes.
What a freak.
Great on TV, too. We appreciate the hell out of him and his contributions to the sports world. We'll try to make more of those that don't suck. On the other side of this 6-minute break, we'll see you then for hour 3. Hey. Come on. That one felt pretty good. AJ.
Yeah.
Because I started a sentence late that I shouldn't have started, and that's just bad hosting. Let's talk about the NFL rules changes, AJ. We were on with Darius Butler, who has played every single position in the secondary, 9-year NFL vet. He was on whenever the news broke that the overtime rules were changed for the postseason only out of the league meetings. From the competition committee.
Yes.
League meetings with the competition committee, the overtime rules have been changed for the postseason only, that both teams at least get a chance to have the ball. It is not for the regular season, though. It was followed up and cleared up. The vote was 29-3, I believe, with the Bengals,
Vikings,
and Dolphins. Vikings, Dolphins, Vikings. Bengals, Dolphins, Vikings were the only ones to vote against it. Let's go through that. Bengals, they ain't changing anything. We don't want to pay anybody. We don't want to build anything. We're playing old school football, and we made the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay? Keep the rules as they are. Is this football or is this not football? The Dolphins said, man, listen, we don't want to change anything. All right, we got some shit falling on. They're paying for that. We're just going to stay out of this. And the Vikings, I wonder what that's all about. That is fascinating.
Do you think McDaniel did the quadratic equation to figure out if the rule would benefit him or not?
I do believe he did bust out the Pythagorean theorem, and he saw that if A squared and B squared equals C squared, then we might be fucked by this in the future.
That's right.
So those are the team that voted against it. Everybody else voted for it. AJ, your thoughts as a defensive player? It feels like the defensive side of people do not like it.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, honestly, I don't really care too much one way or the other. I felt like the old way was fine. I felt like it's okay. It doesn't need to be fair to where the other team gets a chance. If you score a touchdown, I feel like it doesn't matter. But, yeah, the fact that they're doing this for the postseason, it's good for football. We're going to get another possession with hopefully another stud quarterback. Yeah, so it might screw you. You might come out there, go score a touchdown on your first possession. You win the toss, all that, and you're like, oh, normally we'd be done. But if this is the postseason next year, we got to make a big stop now.
Yeah, a little game changer. Defense is still going to have to make a stop at some point, I think. Yeah. Right? For the game to change, defense is going to have to make a stop. So it doesn't take away it completely. In the postseason, they're not going to end the quarter, right? Postseason is going to go
into extra time?
Yeah, no, indefinitely.
Can I kick an onside?
Indefinitely. What's that? Yeah.
If I lose the toss, can I onside it?
Why not?
Yes, I think so. And does that count as them having a chance at a possession already? I think so.
That's what I'm wondering. If I onside it, I get it. I go score, kick a field goal, I win, right?
What if you score a touchdown, then you kick an onside kick and you get it back? You win, right?
Yeah.
That's a ballsy move.
Hey, that's 2 balls, 1 cup. You want to? Are they
right.
going to do it? Are they going to do it? Are they going to go for the same cup? Are they going to go 2 balls, 1 cup and end this thing? Or are they going to kick it off and hope their defense makes a stand? Interesting. I'm pretty excited to see this. I thought the Titans one was the best one personally, but at least we get an opportunity in the future at some point. Probably that this is going to happen again, where the Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen situation happened, and it happened to Patrick Mahomes, I guess, a few years ago with all these young quarterbacks and had the plethora of stars and offenses that are very talented. It feels like this is going to happen again in the postseason, and nobody wants to have the whole, Josh Allen deserved an opportunity to answer right there. And we as NFL fans, deserve to watch that happen. These are our two young stars. This is a Super Bowl caliber matchup in the same conference. There's going to be a lot of those in the AFC. Let's keep it going. I'm happy they made the change. I didn't think it was going to happen, though. I did not think anything was going to happen.
I didn't either. I figured it's like politics, and it takes forever to try to get anything changed that you may want changed. But it's just head coaches that vote, right? Is there any front office or owners that have anything to do with it?
I'm not sure. We saw the competition committee the other day.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
So I think it goes to the league. So I think competition committee has to okay it. They get presented to the competition committee. Competition committee okays it. Then they present it to the league. Then the league votes on it.
What does that mean by the league votes?
I think it's like ownership and stuff.
Okay.
I think
that's the 24. You have to have 24 votes.
So who reps the Packers? It's just Murphy in there?
Probably.
Because I was thinking, because 29-3, you would think there's 32, but there is one team that doesn't have an owner. So it's Murphy in there getting a seat at the table. His vote counts the same as everybody else's. That's awesome.
Because he was in the what's it called, the one per team meeting or whatever.
Yeah.
One per club, but it's not always the owner that goes in there.
True.
Remember they said like it could be somebody else that goes in there.
Tom Pelissaro, he put out a tweet that he said he talked to a coach who thought some coaches would be inclined to go for two. If they receive the ball first, score a touchdown, go for two, so that when they comes back the other way and if the team scores a touchdown, they can't go for two to win.
I don't know. I think you probably kick the extra point.
Well, and
are the Chargers playing or?
Well,
that's a good
the
point.
Chargers are going for two every single time. What were you gonna say, Connor?
Like this is like third touchdown will be game over, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So then it's cleared after that, and then it's like, all right, now it's back
Next
to the
score.
old rules.
Yeah.
Just like if it was a field goal, I think.
What did Tomlin say? I ain't scared of sudden death.
No.
I ain't scared of sudden death. What other rules are going to change, I wonder, over the years here? Can we start predicting what rules? They said the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties for taunting, they feel like they only got 4 wrong last season, and they are going to keep it in there. Hour 3 starts in like 25 seconds, AJ, so I don't want to set you up for fucking failure there, but I would like you to think about what other rules will change.
Interesting.
We'll revisit that early here in the hour.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, that's the plan right now, but this all could change in 15 seconds.
Sure.
Whatever squirrel runs into this room or into my phone or into conversation, that could potentially take precedent. But I'm excited to hear the new rules that you think will be changed inevitably in the future. Hour 3.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There will be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show, hour 3 on this. Oh my, we're 5 days away from WrestleMania Sunday, Tuesday, March 29th, 2022. Hour 3 begins right now. Okay, thank you for joining us. All the boys are here, the Toxic Table, Tone Diggs, and in an attic in Ohio, to my left, your right, AJ Hawk. Right before we came on air here on Sirius, we started talking about how out of the team league meetings, the competition committee has presented numerous rule changes to the entire league, and one we know is for sure passed. That is that there will be a chance to rebuttal in overtime in postseason if the other team goes down and scores a touchdown on you. Obviously, this is a reaction to Josh Allen not getting to answer the Kansas City Chiefs in that thrilling, exciting game that we all feel we got robbed of a potential answer, and Josh Allen building his career and legacy right in front of our eyes. They changed that to in the postseason, anybody gets an answer. AJ, your thoughts on that rule change? And if this is happening, which none of us thought was going to pass, by the way, it feels like the league has been much more open to change as of late than maybe they once were. Maybe that thought that they're old and stubborn and stuck in their ways is no longer an accurate one. Maybe they are turning over a new leaf, although it wasn't 32-0, it was 29-3. Do you think anything else is going to change over the next few years, AJ?
I think things definitely will change over the next few years, but this was an easy one for them to change because it adds more primetime football when it truly matters. Like when, hey, game is on the line, we're going to continue the game. We want to keep those eyeballs around. You know, as games are close and the fourth quarter is happening and things are getting closer and closer and you see they're going to overtime, more people tune in. So it's more money for the league. It's a no-brainer, I think. But the one rule I absolutely would change, I don't know if the league cares about it, is the stupid rule if I fumble through the end zone that it's a touchback. I hate that rule. I think it's so dumb, and it penalizes guys that are extending, trying to go for the pylon or trying to get there, and they fumble through the end zone. It screws you completely. Maybe just, if that happens, give them the ball at the original line of scrimmage or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they're trying to make a spectacular play. They're trying to make this thing, even better.
You're just penalizing them way too much for that.
I think so too. A turnover is vital, massive. Because
Right there too. Like, that's gigantic.
Boom, that's a 6-point swing at least, you would assume. But also, don't you think, like, situationally, you got to know that is a rule. That's what other people say. Yeah. That's what the other side of it says.
You do. Yeah, you do. That's why you have to sometimes, like, yeah, you can be questionable if you're going to reach out or what you're going to do. You have to be aware of that, but I feel like you should be rewarded for making spectacular plays like that.
Yeah, it just seems unjust, doesn't it? It does.
It does.
It seems unfair.
Maybe just bring it back to like the 25. Like, say I'm a guy that has a breakaway. I'd track him down. I'd punch it out on like the 2-yard line. It flies through the end zone, goes out of bounds. Great play by the defender. Now he is rewarded by the ball's going back to the 25. Your team doesn't get the ball back, but that guy is brought back to the 20 or 25, something like that.
Because you're saying, although your team is the owner of that end zone, okay? That is your end zone. You own it, right? They're trying to score in your end zone. Nobody actually possessed the ball. If somebody possesses it, obviously different. That means you've earned it. But if it just squirts out of a 10-yard, 30-foot window, basically, with 53 and a third on the other side, that isn't really earned, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those things that when it happens to teams,
it is heartbreaking. And they're always so disappointed. And sometimes you can see, like, the wide receiver or the running back, whoever, or the tight end, whoever had the ball, they go back and they have that one smart-ass coach. Can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can't do it. Can't have that happen. It's like,
not going to look at it. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Can't even do it. And it's like, what? Try to fucking make an awesome play and score a touchdown for the squad? Like, what are we even... Yeah, you're right. I think that is a bullshit rule. Another one that was being chatted while the intro was running there is the salary cap rules are going to have to get, I think, affected a little bit at some point.
What do you mean? Like, they're going to have to set a ceiling that it can't go above, or what?
I know the quarterback club back in the day was a problem. Quarterback club was an interesting move by the top quarterbacks around the NFL, very notables, and they were creating their own deals with the NFL. They were creating their own licensing deals, and all the other players weren't getting anything. Now, great business by those quarterbacks. Okay, I would like to say this is great business, and you can look at it that fashion, and they're very successful, and they were the main reasons why the NFL was doing well at the time. So you could see how they would view it that way. But I think the rest of the NFL wasn't necessarily thrilled. I think the quarterbacks are eventually going to have to end up in their own category, and the salary cap is going to have to do its own thing, I think personally. Now, that's not a rule change. That's more like a CBA type thing. But I think that is something that will get addressed, and that'll change, I think, the way salary caps are constructed and everything like that. Because the quarterback deals, they're only going to go up and up and up and up and up, which they should, by the way. They're the thing. But whenever it eats into the entire salary cap, which is being structured for every member of the team, it's almost like you should just structure that for every member of the team that isn't a quarterback and just have the quarterbacks be in their own thing because they can negotiate, because they already are. They're setting the bars for each other anyways already. Let them do their own thing because that eats so much of the cap. So much of the cap.
Yeah, like, what would you propose that they can only be a certain amount of the salary cap, or maybe like do you have max contracts like the NBA, like max QB contracts, or at different levels?
I think they have their different pond, a completely different pond that they swim.
But what's that number though? Who sets that number?
Whoever negotiates it, whatever the fuck it is.
Or the highest, right? Like if they did Mahomes, because Mahomes is going to be like a $70 million cap hit in 3 years.
And then they can build in what a natural growth would be of that contract for the next one, or at the top tier. Maybe it's like a tier, how you like tender somebody or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like maybe it's one of those things.
I mean, at this rate, like it's true though, at this rate, when are we going to see a guy sign $1 billion contract? Like, it's going to happen, right?
I can't wait.
Yeah, Archie Manning.
Archie Manning. Archie Manning will be there when Apple, Amazon, and Google will all be trying to get into the game, and Archie Manning will just be like, all right, I'll take a 10-year, $1 billion deal.
Easy.
How about it? And then they renegotiate 8 years in, and it's $2 billion in crypto. Crypto, it's easy. This is easy as that. It's only going to go up. How is that right now, by the way? Do we know?
Crypto or
not really? I'm not sure. You don't see as much about it.
How about you boys? What rules do you think you would want to see changed, Ty?
I don't know. I mean, I think they need to do something with the pass interference, just like the throwing up the deep ball where you're almost just baiting for it. Like, I know they keep going back and forth.
Shouldn't be a spot foul, you're saying?
That was it.
Yeah, maybe not a spot foul, but also just like I looked at like you look at what the Colts were doing with Carson Wentz a bunch, where it's just
this is exactly what I was going to ask Darius Butler. I was about to say, the NFC East needs to get back ready for the fucking Carson Wentz deep ball pass interference thing.
Because that's bullshit.
It was a weapon for us.
It was big time. Like, and it drastically changed the outcome in like several games, and I just think that's something that needs to be addressed.
Man, thank you.
Hey, you got it.
Thank you, right there in my brain there. Spot foul was actually the word that was used in the entire thing, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, Carson Wentz used that to his weapon. And I know that, to his advantage, I know that the challenge didn't go well or whatever of pass interference. I think that's because the execution, AJ. It was the execution of the challenge as opposed to the concept of the challenge, because there has to be some sort of, what did Gene Steratore say? 95% is known the rules, and there's that 5% massage in the game. Like, he said Randy Moss would have his hand down to his side. Like, is that technically against the rules if you go by the rule book? Yes, but he did it so cleanly, and he smoked the guy. It's like, I'll let that go. Gene Steratore's exact fucking words, by the way. There has to be a little bit of that whenever you're reviewing that type of thing. And I feel like we'll get to a point with a generation that's much more comfortable, and maybe as the tech continues to get better and better. But there's so many, like, bang collisions that are happening at a very high speed, especially with how fast everybody is now. Not that everybody wasn't before then, but a dude ran a 4.7 today, and everybody's like, oh, he's a cement. He's not going to be able to make it. 4.7 back in the day was something that people did show up with at the combine. Now they don't. And you got these refs making 30-yard call, 45-yard calls just in bang real time. That is if it's third down, that's a turnover that you just had. That's a turnover that was just taken away basically by the call. Like, those rules, I think you're 100% right, need to get looked at and adjusted a little bit personally.
Especially when a lot of them seem like they're 50-50 balls. Like, it's not like it's an egregious. It's like, oh, he clearly is just fishing for a PI call. And I feel like it's very obvious in certain points. And you just like, what is the defense supposed to do? Like, those guys are just fucked. And I feel like a lot of times it was like.
And if you're a good corner, you're covering them, you're more fucked.
Right.
Because you're on them.
Exactly.
Like, if you were off of them, not a penalty because they could be able to stop and come back and you'd be able to avoid them. But since you're covering them too well, it's a penalty.
Yeah,
right.
It's a classic, you underthrown deep ball and perfect coverage. Oh, PI because the dude turned to try to come back to this ball that was underthrown by 20 yards. Like, that happens.
Imagine if and it would be terrible and it would get abused and it would get taken way too far. But imagine if a ref went to review and came back and was like, yeah, I mean, I guess he did touch him, but it was perfect fucking coverage. So, got to reward him, pick up the flag, go back. Fourth down, let's go, blow the whistle. Like, that is, I think, what we would all dream of, but that would become such a massive issue. That becomes because, you let that go in this game, but you don't let it go in this game. This ref is a little bit cooler than this ref. This ref sees things differently. So it's like, I think, like, our dream outcome is not even possible. Like, I honestly believe that is a chance.
No way. They're still humans.
Yeah.
Still humans out there making the decisions, but also doesn't matter to this show much, but the college rules. College absolutely needs to have you down by contact rule. The targeting stuff, don't even get me started on that, but the down by contact, a dude catches the ball, there's no one within 30 yards, and he falls to a knee, let him get up and run. Like, it just feels like you're watching a middle school game when that happens.
At what level, I was about to ask, at what level of backyard football? Never. Like, I don't think that has ever been a rule in anything. I don't know why. And I wasn't into football culture, I don't think, as long or as much as I should have been. Is that a rule through every? Yeah. That's a rule through every level.
Until NFL.
Until the NFL.
Yep. I assume they think it's for safety, but I'm like, we know the NFL, you can't dive and spear a dude if he's on the ground, like, and he hasn't been touched yet. They don't. Is that what they're worried about?
Yeah, maybe they're thinking high schoolers won't be as.
Well, okay, then
college
police
kids.
them. Then throw a flag if they do that.
Yeah. It is amateur hour, isn't it? Whenever they like stumble and there's nobody around, and it's like that guy runs. That guy runs a 4.2 right there. If he was to get up, there's still nobody's going to be able to touch him. Like in flag football, you go down, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, not until your flag's pulled. I don't think.
So even in flag football, they let you get back up if you have the ability to get back up. That doesn't make much sense to me.
Well, it's like a college quarterback. Say he takes the snap, which they're very rarely under center. He trips over the center, and as he's taking a drop, he falls down. Oh, boop, play's over. Cool. No one touched him.
Okay. Waste of a play. This is dumb. This is, sometimes people are going to stumble and fall, but it's them getting back up. That is real. How come the college rules don't want these
right.
guys to celebrate getting back up? You fall down 7 times, you stand up 8.
That's right.
Yeah.
How
And the targeting rule should be obsolete once you cross the 5-yard line. You're going in. No targeting down there.
Oh, okay. And goal line, we ain't got targeting.
What am I supposed to do? I got to adjust my strike zone when the dude has his head lower and he's 1 yard away from scoring. What am I supposed to do?
Guys down at a 4-point. Guys are down like this. Heads are down. You're supposed to hit them in the strike zone. That's like actually, you can't hit them in the back, I don't think either. So it's, yeah, you're kind of fucked there, huh? That's what you're saying?
You take him low, he falls forward and scores.
I think if it's 3rd and 10 or longer, okay. You're not allowed to run a running play or a screen or a quick screen. I want balls past the sticks. I want you going for the first down. We ain't giving up, okay?
So it's more of a mandate.
Okay.
But it's like no draws.
That's going to be tough.
No screens.
No QB sneaks.
No, nothing.
Giants, don't do the QB sneak when it's 3rd and 10 and you're
Well, you got to get the punter into the game.
Mm-hmm. Get him into the flow.
Which, by the way, I would have loved if a coach would have thought of me, but also I would have questioned the strategy. Yeah. Coach, come on.
I hate when an offense gives up.
Really?
Hate it.
Even if they know they're completely fucked.
Drives me insane. We just talked about the PIs and what can happen. At least throw one up down there.
Yeah, but then you throw a pick. Oh, it's a long one. Who cares? It's 35-yard
punt.
net.
Yeah.
I love whenever people use that. Andrew Luck threw one in Denver, I think. In Denver, obviously, thin air, and I think it was a little bit fuller field. I was excited for potentially where we were about to go punt from. And then Andrew doing Andrew stuff, making people miss. Throws up like a 55-yard pick. You know, much better than however the punt would have been. Much better. Like, so much better. And I talked to him on the plane after. I was like, I mean, yeah, you did better than me, but also, like, I only get like one of those punts a year.
my job.
One of those a year or whatever. I'm sorry, man. I was like, no, it's... I don't know why you wouldn't. You're right. Why don't you? Well, probably because you're not being able to protect. So you don't want to get your quarterback killed. You might as well just go to the sideline and figure it out.
This was a pipe dream. I mean,
yeah, it's not a rule either. It's kind of like more of a mandate. But I guess that would be the same thing.
Diggs loves mandates, doesn't he?
Well,
Yeah.
hey, what's going on in the world? I'm sorry, Foxy. Go ahead.
Delay a game. 0 needs to be 0. That clock hits 0.
right.
You throw the fucking
Oh,
flag.
so this is where there's a little wiggle, which we were just talking about with the pass interference.
Yes.
There is a little wiggle in the delay of game because it's, remember the clock hits 0,
Right.
then the ref looks down, then he has to check the 0 again, then he looks down, then he gets one little peek-see back to the 0, then he looks down, then he throws the
Yeah,
flag.
there's no reason that should be a judgment call. 0 is 0. That's what the clock's there for. Throw the flag.
Yeah, it's like a shot clock in basketball.
Should have a watch that goes off when it hits 0. Have it
For
so
loud
somebody
buzzer.
sets
What
it
about a loud
somehow.
buzzer?
Yeah, like a shot. Yeah.
Like in basketball?
Basketball.
love it.
Over the whole PA
Do
system.
you know how many of those would happen?
Oh,
So
God.
Too
many.
many. I was going to
Make
say.
it a good sound. Like maybe like for the Colts, it's a horse neighing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You know, for the Patriots, it's a gunshot.
Yeah.
You know, because the Minutemen. Or
What if it's like simultaneous though? Then you have to review it.
Yeah, then we got to go look at just like the shot. Is the ball out of the fingertip? You know, is the ball off the fingertip? That shit is so crazy close all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's always clearly one angle that has the right angle, and they still like to showcase how many angles
Yeah.
they have.
The other ones. Yeah.
Can we get that fixed? Like, hey, that last angle that you for some reason aren't showing again and again and again was the
Yeah,
angle.
it very clearly shows
Need
it.
that one.
What's the angle?
What's the
It's
angle?
that one you just showed.
That's the angle.
Go back to that one. Does that happen? Am I the only person that sees that?
No,
Or
you got to show
no.
off all the time.
Okay.
You got to show off the fact, hey, we got 19 cameras set up for this basketball game tonight.
Bro, I get so angry because normally, you know, it happens to be at very crunch time when they're looking at it that close. And we potentially have a lot of money on maybe one of these teams that we knew nothing about. But all of a sudden, we know that that guy's fingers aren't long enough to touch that ball right there. That is not us. That's on them for sure. And then they always go, oh, let's see if from this reverse angle we can see anything. And it's like the backboard is in the way. It's, why are we here? There was one right there that proved everything we need to know. And I think those are the exact same ones the refs are looking at too, right? Isn't that what they normally tell us?
I assume so, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
these are the
what are
angles
they
that-
looking at?
yeah.
They're
So
showing us
whenever
stuff
they
that-
go to 4 or 5 deep and we've already seen the one, we're fucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Are we watching their feed?
Think so.
I think so, yeah.
Especially like
Oh my!
Basketball
in
for
the
sure.
stadium too when
I
they're
don't
showing it
know.
on the jumbotron.
You know.
Oh, because man, now it's even more going to settle in. Like, oh, we got no shot here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for basketball, they actually make the call. They watch it right there at the bench, and they watch it. Football, the NFL ref doesn't do much. He sits there and talks in New York.
Yeah, he used to look in the. Remember, we pointed it out like 4 or 5 times in our first ever game, and I was really happy to do so because at Jerry World there is a 100-yard jumbotron that is 4K right down the middle of the field. Everybody watches that's in the stadium. Everybody, even the people on the sideline, are looking up at that thing because it's a TV copy of the game, so you get all the angles, and it feels like you're in your living room with how fucking big it is. A call got challenged in this college football game, and this ref jogs over to the sideline, and he looked at an iPad that was this big. Okay, and we had a zoomed out shot, and it was him looking at this fucking iPad, and then a 100-yard 4K camera television just probably 30, 40 yards above his head that everybody else was looking at. Why is that happening? And I think that pointed out the fact that they're not doing anything. It's the people. It's the people on the other side that just want them to follow along with what they're saying and why they're saying it, I think, right? That has to be the reason.
Yeah, I think so. I know there's always a replay booth from doing games in college. I don't know if you saw it when you were doing it. There was a replay booth usually a couple doors down from where the commentators are. And I'd go talk to those guys, and they were refs or whoever, replay officials. And they're the ones that were talking with the refs on the field, I think, whenever they challenge or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. They always took a lot of pride in that gig.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then they get something wrong, and I'm on a mic, because you meet them before the game. And they're like, I've been officiating for however many years and, like, very, honored to be here and get to do this new wave of officiating and all this stuff. And then we get in the game, and then something happens. I'm like, this motherfucker better get it right. I just met the guy. He is very nice. I don't want to have to bury him, but come on, let's do it. And most of them did, by the way. College, I feel like, better than the NFL. Am I reading that in the challenge department?
I don't know.
I think the targeting thing takes all the attention because it's all bullshit. But I feel like, who knows? Who knows? Cam Newton said he's drawing interest, but is waiting on the best fit. You surprised to hear that? I thought Cam Newton retired. Just like I thought Jimmy G said goodbye to the Niners and now he might be the starter this upcoming season. I thought Cam Newton kind of retired when he did that press conference. But if you're still in as good a shape as Cam Newton probably is, still think you have some good ball ahead of you, why wouldn't you at least listen to people that are making offers for you to come join him, right? Is that probably how he's viewing it, I assume?
Yeah, why? I mean, there's no reason for him to officially retire if he doesn't want to. Someone, I would assume, will reach out when the time comes. Maybe that's after the draft or even later on when if somebody has an injury somewhere. And I just don't know where that might be.
What happened in Carolina this year when he was playing? Did he get hurt? What happened? I don't remember.
They were.
He scored 2 touchdowns.
Split time, didn't they?
Yeah, right. He come right in against the Cardinals and scored.
And did not play great.
Yeah, he got pulled a couple times for PJ Walker.
Remember
they had that one game where they pulled him, then they put him back in, and they
ran
pulled him
into
again.
a buzzsaw in Miami.
True.
You guys, the defense is humming, huh?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
They beat the fuck out of him.
We did.
Out of the Panthers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember towel overhead Cam, I think.
Killed them.
Yeah.
It's probably easier now that he knows he's not going to be a starting quarterback, though, right? Like, a lot of teams will have interest in bringing him in as backup because it's not like anyone's bringing him in to be a starter.
I don't know. I've never met him. So I've never met Cam Newton. I've never talked to him. I'm a fan of his. Anytime you're that tall, that athletic, that successful, and probably has had to hear a bunch of shit through his whole life and still as confident as he is, I have a lot of respect for. And also, Adam Vinatieri and I saw him before a game in warm-ups, and we saw somebody that was bigger than every defensive end on the field and somebody that was faster and seemed to be more joyful and upbeat than everybody else. And we said, oh, this guy figures out football. Everybody's dead. And he did a couple years later, so much so he's almost in the MVP. Then there was that car accident that happened, and the injuries that happened. And I think a lot of us hope, I hope Cam Newton finds a home and Cam Newton is all the way back. Because in New England, he didn't throw much at all. He said his shoulder still didn't feel it. Then he goes to Carolina. I was pumped for him in Carolina. And then that doesn't work out for the reasons you're mentioning. But I think at this stage, he understands he's not a starter, right? You would think? He would have to understand that he's at this stage.
Yeah, I read his comments about it. I think he said something about he's holding out to see what the best options will be to try to win a championship. And I believe he said something and also getting a fair chance to play. So that's all he's expecting. He don't want to go be a camp arm somewhere, obviously.
Huh.
Well, but even a fair chance to play.
Yeah, that
feels Like, because it seems like
What?
No. Like he's at a point in his career where he could definitely be like Justin Fields' mentor, and like then if say Fields does get hurt or something, he comes in and that offense doesn't change that much.
Yeah, I'm interested because of how much of a leader he is. Like Bill Belichick came out and talks about how everybody gravitates to Cam Newton. Well, that scares some teams. Well, that scares some teams, I wonder.
Well, also, if he wants to win a championship, like teams that are poised to make a run for the championship are probably good with who they have at quarterback right now. Like, and that makes it seem like he wants to go play and be kind of the reason that they go win a championship.
And maybe he is waiting for any potential injuries to take place or things to shake out in the draft. Maybe all those things, but that is certainly something I did not expect. I thought he was retired because he by the way, what is it?
Saga.
Yeah. Iconic Saga Productions. His production company makes great shit. Great content. He could get in the content game right now full time and have a very, very, very good business going. So it's interesting to hear all that. But I guess quarterback money is different. Quarterback money's quarterback money.
Yeah, like who says the Panthers? Like they don't get a quarterback in the draft. Jimmy G stays.
Matt Rule said before.
Exactly.
Slide to the left, slide to the right, too hot and out, too hot and out. Now everybody clap your hands.
Come on now, y'all.
How low can you go?
You go down, on the way to the hump. That's what Matt Rule was doing last night.
Was he?
That's what we heard.
Yeah.
Hey, the owners' meetings or the league meetings at Joe Bucks fan, who obviously very credible source.
Oh, yeah.
Unexpected happening of the night. Panthers head coach Matt Rule owning the dance floor at the NFL owners' meetings last night party. Look at that, huh?
Look how comfortable he looks in this picture. I believe it.
Well, Ty Schmidt took a couple shots at him earlier.
Hey, no shots. Just the kind of, calling it how I see it. And I think Coach Rule has been drinking a lot of booze, and that's why he's tearing up the dance floor.
So and then that led to, and by the way, Ty's not judging anybody. The Glass Stones thing, that whole process, and that led to a conversation that with, how miserable Matt Rule has looked in certain situations as of late.
Yeah.
That might have been the first time he heard music in like 2-3 years last night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe you're right. Like, I would not be surprised how these coaches get so engrossed in what they're doing, and they're living in the moment, in the grind, in the day-to-day. Yeah, it probably did. It probably woke some part of his brain that's been dormant for a little bit while he's been coaching.
What is this? This is weird.
Holy shit.
Man, am I alive again? Especially him. He got paid so much money, went into the NFL from the college. He had a lot of success in college. He had a lot of probably people saying, oh, college guy can't do anything in the NFL. And then they haven't been great. And you have an owner that's like, hey, I'll give you everything you could possibly need to win. He's probably submersed himself in work so much. And obviously we've seen, the outcome. But if you start winning, I think life gets a lot better. McVay over there, McVay is dressed like right off the yacht. That dude is living, man. How much is he making a year? Oh, we don't know.
Yeah, it hasn't been released, but he can assume.
Around 20, right?
Yeah, between 15 and 20.
Right.
That guy's fucking doing it. He's 30 what? 6? 33?
So young.
How old is he?
36, I believe.
36. Yeah,
36 years old. Just fucking living. Just already has the Super Bowl.
Because it's the youngest head coach matchup in the Super Bowl.
Has every single network saying, hey, you want to come do this, our prime time, our biggest show, our biggest job, our biggest game. We'll give you the biggest check anybody has ever received in this particular profession. Maybe a couple of years.
After the Stafford contract.
All right, I'm not Stafford. I got a guy who can throw the ball all over the place.
4 years.
I'm in Los Angeles. So I'm getting, sorry about it. We got yacht parties with Glazer in them. You got in the combine? Absolutely not.
No, not.
What are we even? I got film and study. What are you even talking about? What a stud, dude. Shout out to Matt Rule, though, living his best life. Hopefully they'll win. Maybe Cam Newton does go back. We have another thing on Matt Rule via Ari Mirov, who is in the building. Sorry, it is not on Matt Rule. It's a new rule. Classic Zito in the ear. Matt Rule, new rule. I mean, we're talking about both of them there.
Right.
Yeah. That is not your fault at all. That is a very difficult communication line there from a one-way street conversation. NFL owners have approved a mandate for all offensive line, tight end, D-line, and linebackers to wear Guardian Cap helmet shows from the beginning of training camp until the second preseason game. Nice. Goal is to reduce avoidable head contact. Thank you, NFL. It's very nice. Obviously, they look like little spaceships. They're an added layer of padding around the helmet. You know, in training camp and people trying to make teams, they're all going 110%, even in situations where you're supposed to go 30 to 40% because there's only a certain amount of jobs on the line. Now they're trying to save the avoidable head contact. You know, this whole, AJ, how do you feel about this? What if they made you do this on your helmet? How would you feel?
I mean, I'm not even going to touch that, but okay, what?
Touch it!
How does adding this thing on top of your helmet reduce avoidable head contact when you have a larger space now that's going to contact who you are playing?
Yeah, so,
and it's going to be like the dull thud, too. Anyone that's boxed anyone and done anything, you put headgear on, it feels like it rattles your brain a lot more. I feel like these may do the same thing.
Okay, have you ever worn any of these?
I mean, no.
They're over top of the normal helmet.
And the normal helmet's still there. Okay,
I need to talk to some people that have worn these and have gone full go contact, like goal line drill wearing this. I want to know what it feels like.
So you would like to know from somebody you respect in the hitting.
Yeah, does it help? Do you feel better wearing these? Because you know when you're wearing helmets, you have more glancing blows. It doesn't stick with it. I'm worried with the cloth and the pads. It just don't, and it just stuck.
Like a twisting motion too, potentially coming to these.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't know.
AJ's pissed.
Hey, you think this is just like we're doing this?
It looks horrendous. How terrible does that have to feel? Probably takes all your peripheral away, like everything.
Well, think about how hot that is too, because there's holes in it. You're putting a hug on top of it, a Snuggie on top of your helmet, which is already hot as hell. Oh, those boys die in New Orleans, and now, granted, I think they leave, but those training camps in Miami with those bad boys right on top, plastered on top, no air getting through. Well, I'm sure there is air built into this thing. Mm-hmm. You're saying this is a strictly cover your ass type rule, it feels like, for future potential lawsuits?
No, I'm sure they have, there's science and there's studies to back up how this does help, or maybe they're just saying, hey, a little extra padding can't hurt. Maybe that's what they're thinking. You
remember when soccer goalies, Goomp, were starting to wear those? You remember that was a thing for like a year, and then everybody's like, yeah, all right, we can't do this anymore.
Peter Check.
Don't need it.
No, this is the worst. I actually end up hitting things more because my head is now 2 sizes bigger, which is what I think you're saying about the pads on top of the helmet.
Yeah, how does that reduce avoidable? What's an avoidable contact that's going to change?
So this has to be for walkthroughs, you're thinking? But
why would you wear your helmet? You have to wear them all through practice in camp.
And scrums.
I think avoidable was the wrong word.
Hold on, they're not wearing any pads there.
Aren't these what the Vikings
wore?
From
training camp until the second preseason game. You're telling me you're not wearing full pads?
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
But is it just certain periods?
Does it say that?
I don't know. Go up. Who tweeted this? Ari. Do we know if Ari is the memo or is Pelissero the only memo?
I don't know if Ari
beginning of training camp until the second preseason game. So you have many full padded practices.
Yeah, but that might be just certain practices within that period.
Okay, good luck. You think?
I think you're hoping is what it sounds like.
Those things don't look like they just slide right on and off your helmet. You tell me you want to put those things on and off throughout a practice?
No. I'm talking about like a walkthrough, certain different.
Like 7-on-7 kids, like these high school 7-on-7 kids. They have those soft, like shelled helmets they wear. I think that's probably a good idea.
But not on top of the helmet. You're saying this a little bit.
Yeah. This is like what back in the day when I would go watch my high school play when I was in middle school or like elementary school. Every once in a while, you'd see a guy with a giant helmet, like the mushroom on top of it. And it's because the dude got knocked out the week before, and so they're going to protect his head this game, and he wears that thing.
Wes Welker in Denver.
He had that Buzz Lightyear spaceship on top of that thing.
Yeah, you're like, what's going on with that guy? Oh, he doesn't even know where he is right now.
You think this is going to get overturned? Do you think it's going to get overturned?
No one's going to fight for this. I will, though.
Thank you, AJ.
If they need me to. If any, I need to talk to some guys actually that have worn them. I would like to stand up for this if I talk to some guys I respect and they say it's garbage. But if they say it's great, I will trust their opinion.
What if they come back and say, AJ, we heard what you're saying, but it's a new league. We're much smarter now. Like we care about our brain and our cognitive function.
Think about it.
I'll say, fair enough. I stand down.
And then you don't follow up with, are you still wearing mouthpieces?
Well, we'll get to that later.
What's
I
that?
don't think mouthpieces are bad at all. They're not a bad thing at all. It's just hard to breathe, hard to talk. You can't understand you when you're wearing it.
And also leave your jaw just a little bit opened.
Chew gum. You chew gum. It keeps you relaxed. So it's that car collision thing. When I got in a car wreck, but I got blindsided, so I'm okay. But if I saw it coming and I stiffened up, that's when I get hurt.
Bill, what are you going to say here?
So we had these in high school, and probably the NFL probably has much better tech and much better iterations of these, but they made your helmet 3 times as heavy, so you're kind of just throwing your head around way more in practice.
I didn't even think about the weight of those things.
Because, I mean, it's heavy. It's like the padding inside the helmet's on the outside again.
Man, I would be so pissed. I hate
It'll
it.
strengthen your neck a little bit, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah.
Which will also help.
You got AJ Hawk.
will help.
AJ Hawk neck.
I need to do a lot more neck.
Zito just asked if we'd like to call Mike Allstott. I had to get his thoughts on it.
He'd be the guy to ask.
We know
Hodgie probably
his
has an
thoughts
opinion.
on it.
Allstott is a fucking
Hodge
icon.
will tell you all about it.
Yeah.
Merrill Hodge would be pissed about this.
Probably
Allstott would
on
be
the
pissed
golf
about
course
this.
right now.
But if it was up to Allstott, he wouldn't have played with the helmet on to begin with.
And he still would have played the same exact way he played.
Yeah.
See, there's people that think guys shouldn't have helmets because they'll slow down. They won't be as reckless. But there's some guys that are in the NFL currently and will always be in the NFL that no, that doesn't mean that helmet means nothing.
Right.
We are playing the same way. Whether are we getting paid for this? And are we winning? Yeah. Okay. Well, this doesn't mean anything. Let's throw it. And this is one of them. This guy right here.
Yeah. No, I would not play the same without a helmet. That thing is a weapon. I need it.
Okay. Fair. All right. And he is the exact reason why a lot of these rules are changing.
Exactly.
Because the way AJ Hawk played. Do you ever think about that? Do you ever watch the film and go, well,
No,
this
nothing's
probably
changed because
changed
of
the
me.
way? No?
I played by the rules.
Except on the goal line against the Saints.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got a garbage PI?
Well, listen, the ref saw it.
Yeah. Flag's a flag.
Yeah, he
dude.
did. I let him know. I chased him down.
That's professional. Because, listen, is there any accountability out here? You just fucked me, dude. You jumped over Darren. Was it Darren?
Darren Sproles, yeah.
It was Darren Sproles, right? You jumped over Darren Sproles, which, by the way, everybody's going to say, oh, it's Darren Sproles. Yeah, he's still a fucking adult.
Yeah.
He is still I guess he's undersized when you talk about NFL people.
We're wearing full pads, too, so it's also a little bit taller, and I'm wearing pads trying to jump.
He jumps over a guy in goal line. What game is this? This is a pretty big game, it feels like. That was a playoff?
It's the kickoff game of the season, and that was the last play of the game. Gave him an extra play from the 1-inch line. Thank God we stopped him.
And then what you do? Then he jumped over the line of scrimmage, did a LeVar Arrington
exactly. Yeah. Ray Lewis stance.
I did not make the first contact. That was all the D line. I was just basically there for decoration.
Look at this.
Holy shit.
Holy fuck.
It's PI in my book.
AJ, we forget I think about this. It is. You
Fourth
look like-
down, though. Fourth down. This is the game, and the dude. I guess I understand why he made the call.
I mean, you put it on his back.
Yeah.
You are a little early there, dude.
But you can see I already.
Did you
hit the
use
ball.
his shoulders?
What?
Did you use his shoulder?
No, I didn't jump. No, because I made sure not to touch him. Like my hip made contact with him as I looked. The ball was below my left elbow. I'd already hit the ball with my hands there.
Oh, okay. So you're saying the contact came after the ball was swatted?
It was basically right there. Bam, bam.
Look
bang,
at this!
bang, play.
Look at this fucking specimen.
Yeah.
Soaring.
What is that, AJ?
They should have reviewed it.
Still pissed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because do you have is that a poster anywhere, that photo?
Where?
Oh, because it was a penalty.
Yeah. You mean for me? You mean did I put it up somewhere?
Yeah, your face.
On your
No,
bathroom
I don't have
wall.
any pictures like that.
I think I would like that.
Yeah.
I think
that's
I would
the
like
one.
that photo for the igloo if possible.
I would like that. I want to know the ref who threw the flag.
Oh, right there, you're finding out.
Yeah.
I think.
You son
0
of a
seconds
bitch.
left on the clock. Thanks, bud.
I'm AJ Hawk. What are you doing? Saying something like that.
I wish you would have told him.
his head.
Did you see what I just did? You're going to fuck that up. I just jumped over. That was unbelievable, AJ. I think we all do forget that although you are just, sports stooge from Ohio, incredibly toxic, have a lot of theories and bring a lot of things. You were a freak show athlete.
Oh, yeah.
Freak show athlete. What were you going to say, Connor?
Well, I was going to say I also had pet piranhas, but even to your point, like how many linebackers get drafted 5th overall in a draft? Do we know like the actual number?
Yeah, you're
very
right.
many
We need to talk
anymore.
about. We need to talk about that more often. I think.
Yeah.
We're going to do that more often.
Just AJ and LeVar, pretty much.
No.
Aaron
Well, now
Curry.
it's different. It's a lot different now.
Like when Kuechly went, I think 7th. He didn't go top
Huge,
5.
by the way. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Imagine AJ playing during the social media era.
Oh, my God.
That play right there. Gone.
Social media era was around. I guess not as big though.
He also would have been
MySpace.
canceled.
All right, thanks.
No, I mean Twitter was up then.
What year is this?
This was right after the Super Bowl, so we were like the kickoff game of the season that Thursday night. So 2010, which was 11 Super Bowl. So this is 2011.
Yeah, Twitter was, but I guess it wasn't life. You know, like now it's life.
Huge. You're right.
What a freak! Hey, AJ.
I know that ref
AJ
caught some heat on.
Hey, we're lucky to get to chat with you, dude, every day. Honestly.
Thank you. I'm lucky to chat with you guys.
No. We're just. Do you still got any of it? Do you still got any of that, or is it all dead? Is it all gone?
What do you mean?
Like your athleticism.
Athleticism never leaves. Now your body shuts down and there's no cartilage. That plays a role.
Can you still dunk?
2 foot. I've never been a 1 foot dunker. I can do 2 foot dunk.
I mean, don't let
Still
this guy.
any weight?
Any weight? Yeah, I mean, I'm always the same weight pretty much, but I got to my daughter actually called me small, so I told her I'm getting up to 280. So that happened yesterday.
Okay, so I'd be excited to know at what weight you stopped dunking. That's what I would like to know.
I've never gotten that high. I don't know. I've never gotten too high to where like, oh, I'm too heavy. I can't dunk.
I have a weight. I have an actual weight. If I'm below 225, which is probably where I'm supposed to be, I can dunk. If I'm above it, like most of my life, can't. I can get there, but it gets it's always an awkward ending. So I choose not to do it in public. But I think I'm getting there. By the way, I think I'm going to continue to stay in shape.
Yeah.
I believe.
I mean,
how much you weigh right now?
I don't know. I'll hop on the scale here in a bit. I don't know. I'm not a big scale guy.
220?
No. I'm probably still around 230, 229, 228-ish, 230.
You probably feel good though, right?
Feel real light, yeah. I feel real light. I sprinted like 119 floors last night, basically.
Oh, on the climber.
Yeah, the rubber was burning on my Stairmaster. Smelled. Thought there was a fire. I was like, oh, I fucking ran this
Would
thing
you
up.
ever just like go outside and run sprints or something?
My knees, I can't.
Yeah.
Same with you.
Sounds awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stairs.
Stairs aren't as bad, I don't think, because it's not as heavy as a what is that?
Like the impact isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm only going like that far down, I think, on everyone. Although I've been told by every doctor that it is terrible for my knees, but it hasn't. For me, I haven't felt that way. But if I go run on cement, I hurt like a motherfucker. I assume you do as well?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to run on any surface. Doesn't have to be concrete. I've never been a distance guy. Distance has always been like my nemesis. But now it would be funny to watch. Like, I'm not running any distance.
My knees started hurting when I was like a teenager. You as well?
No. I was good to go in my senior year. First game, I was faking a punt. I think I told you. Tore my PCL. And then scoped to take care of cartilage there, and then that just started it all and took all of it out by the time I was done with college, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, hey, sorry to hear about it. The knees are pretty.
Sorry, I feel great.
Well, I've gone through it as well, and you look great too every single day.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade anything.
You do look kind of small though. Now that you're thinking,
She meant short, but I was like, I don't care. I'm going to gain 30 pounds.
What are you going to do? You're just going to add some weights down there?
No, I don't know. I got to see. I got to come up with a plan because I always say like, hey, I'm either going up to 275 or I'm getting down to like 210. I don't know which one would be harder for me.
So for me, going down is much harder. I could get to 275 in a week.
If
this WrestleMania cheat meal on Monday doesn't stop, I could get back to 270 pretty quick. I think that's a no problem thing. Go ahead, Tom. What are you going to say?
I did the draft research.
Okay.
Since 2000, there have been 4 linebackers taken in the top 5, inside linebackers. Okay. Devin White, current stud for the Buccaneers.
Super Bowl champion.
LeVar Arrington, pretty
stud.
Yeah. Aaron Curry didn't work out as well.
Yikes. Where's he at, a Wake?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a monster at Wake.
And AJ Hawk.
Wow.
Super champion.
Curry went to Seattle, right?
Yes.
2 years.
Did he have injuries and stuff?
I think so.
He was such an athlete too.
I remember, what did you tell us that whenever you were coming out of college, they wanted to see your knees and you said, nope, that time's already passed. Sorry about it, bud. Can't look at my, and then what you said, you just lied to everybody. Hey, I'm not going to show up. And everybody's like, you've had surgeries literally since your senior year. It's documented that you've had 35 surgeries on your knees. We'd like to look at this. Oh, sorry. Nope. We gave a window. You didn't want to do it. So,
yeah. I texted the trainers in Green Bay a couple weeks ago at the Combine. Said, I'm sure these guys are just opening up their medical records, giving you everything that they've ever had. But no, of course, why would make them do the work? They handed them a file and said, I see you've had 3 knee scopes on your right knee. I'm like, if that's what it says, how does it feel? Amazing. Feels great. And they forgot like the other 2 knee scopes I had. I definitely didn't remind them. Anything else you ever had? No, that's it, bud.
Worked out. Let's get to a break. We'll end this show with some phone calls on the 5 Hour Energy phone line. I'm definitely not going to remind them. I see you've had 3 knee scopes on your hand. Yep. Right leg. Is that it? If that's what it says.
Sounds right.
Because I was told that every question they ask is like they know every answer to.
Do they?
Well, that's what I was. I was kind of balancing that the entire time. I didn't have the answer of it. What does it say? I didn't have that answer on deck. I wish. At Senior Bowl, they asked me about a couple minor in consumption of alcohol that happened in Morgantown, West Virginia. So we see here 2. Is that all? It was actually 3, but yeah.
Can't play though.
2 was it. That was it. No, I said 2.
Okay.
That team did not draft me though.
Well,
No, this fucking guy's a liar.
Probably changed because of AJ.
Yeah.
Probably like, fuck, we gotta actually.
No, you shouldn't lie about your personal life. You shouldn't lie about that. You need to be open and honest. But if it's medical stuff that they had just did 15 MRIs on your whole body, and they want to ask you, they want you to fill in the gaps, absolutely not. That's not happening.
You don't think the PI that did all the investigating into my background is, you know?
That's what I'm saying. You should be open with that.
Okay. I thought 2 of them were bullshit, by the way. I was just trying to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And they shut down all the bath. Everybody knows my bladder's terrible. I mean, I have a terrible bladder.
Yeah.
It has got me into real trouble.
I feel like there's a rule change we need. If it's past 2 a.m., you should be allowed to piss wherever you want.
And if there's no bathrooms open in the entire city.
Don't do it by a school, though. You know that.
Well, no, of course not.
Chuck E. Cheese.
But if you're in a back alley, way back there,
Correct.
only with rats and stuff like that, and there's no lights.
Piss as much as you need to.
What if that's your building, though? What if someone stumbles out of a bar, local watering hole, and they're pissing right next to your office?
Well, they were the ones that were just giving me penny pitchers. So, like, did you not ask for this?
Right.
And then you shut down your bathroom? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's
basically,
outside.
you sent out a loaded gun, basically.
I mean, at
outside.
least you're not puking out there. You know, it's like if I'm puking in the alley, maybe you got something to gripe with. But if I'm just pissing on the bricks, like
Basically water at that
I would like to let everybody know that you can't do it. You can't do what I just said, no matter where you are. If you're in the middle of like a place that is literally built just for you to party, which is what Morgantown High Street was there for a little bit, and they shut down all of the bathrooms, don't do it. Get home. Pee your pants. That's cool.
If a bum can poop in the street, why can't we just piss every now and then?
That got me twice, by the way. That got me twice in college.
Yeah.
I had a lookout, too, the second time because I'd learned my lesson from the first time. Turns out he had to piss, too. He went down a different alley. He won. I lost.
You gotta get a fall guy.
Huh?
Gotta get a fall guy.
Oh, when you're peeing, they kind of see you.
it's kind of a Barney Fife move by that cop, though.
Yeah.
Dude, do you have your ID on you? No, I do not. I need your ID. I only have my brother's ID. My brother's ID says I'm 21, which is where I just came from. I was drinking a lot of booze down there. Will you finish your piss, sir, so we can talk? Yes. All right.
You got it.
And then he took me into the cop car. I'm in the cop car sitting there. And my friend walks down the street out of the thing, and I see him, and he's like looking down the alley for me. I think he even did a yell, and then he turns the corner. I'm like, this fucking guy. This guy. They let me out, obviously. It was just like a little ticket or whatever. And then, man, I've been looking for you. The guy. I was just in this fucking. It was just then I had to go tell Rich Rodriguez, obviously, that this had happened. And his answer was, on a Tuesday? Yeah, I'm like, it's good night.
Yeah.
It's good night. It was a birthday. Then it would happen in the NFL again, and I'd finally learn my fucking lesson. Some people need to just stop having a good time all the time. I was one of those. If you're one of those, don't be scared to stop. Life on the other side of it's great. We'll be back in 4 minutes with some phone calls at 1-833-4-McAfee on the 5 Energy phone line. You're the best. Cheers. Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I can get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't, because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it, and your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. And if you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who play for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why I, at times, I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, it was pretty cool. Roger Goodell gave me a big hug beforehand, too, so that's good, sir. Thank you so much. Shane, you drinking? Yeah. Cheers to you, man. That was a good one. That was good. That was good. Oh, that was. I feel like it went pretty good. Oh, look at the phone.
Today's show is brought to you by Cash App. Cash App is the easiest way to send, spend, and save your money. It's the best finance app available, and we appreciate their help with all of our giveaways.
Oh, yeah.
You can buy pieces of any stock on Cash App or Bitcoin with as little as $1.
Whoa! Hey.
That's right, you get portions of both Bitcoin and stock, and you can share money amongst friends, and you can win money from our contests on there. Cash App is the most convenient and easy to use financing app available.
Absolutely.
By far. It has saved CFO Phil's life.
Yeah.
It's the best.
With all of our giveaways. Shout out to Cash App. We appreciate the hell out of you. And if you aren't in Cash App yet, go use code McAfee for $15 as soon as you sign up. That's code MCAFEE for $15 as soon as you sign up. Obviously, terms apply.
Ooh.
What does that mean? Still don't know.
You'll find out.
Or age or something.
Make sure you read them.
Bank account.
Read the terms. Read the terms. Always read the terms. Let's go to the phones, the 5 Energy phone line. AJ, I'm excited to hear what the callers have to say today.
Absolutely.
Let's go to Tyler in Atlanta. Tyler, what's going on?
Howdy, fellas.
Keep it howdy.
Keep it howdy. Keep it howdy.
I just got a question about what are the Dolphins' chances in a stacked AFC where seemingly 2 or 3 teams from every division could go?
Well, thank you so much, Tyler. Goomp, your thoughts on this from Tyler?
Playoffs is a success, I think. Playoffs are bust, basically, I think you'd have to say, with everything they've added.
Even though it's the first year of the new coach, this is like Brandon Staley with the Chargers.
I think people looking in will say playoffs are bust. For me, I'd just be happy to see us play some good football, you know?
Yeah, so you kind of changed there a little bit after you were reminded that it is his first year being the coach, but that is a real thing. We thought the Chargers were going to go on a run, but it was the first year a guy was there, putting in his new culture, his new way of doing things, his scheduling, his travel, everything is brand new. That might be difficult, right? I mean, that might be something to get over, especially for a first-time head coach, or am I overthinking that, AJ?
No, I don't think you're overthinking that. Yeah, you have a lot of talent. I guess the toughest thing is probably to win consistently in the NFL. And as a first-year head coach, I'm sure that will be a little bit of a hurdle. But you have good players. That's all that matters.
Darius Butler loves the Chargers. Second year with Staley. We saw him do an interview yesterday looking good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Looking good. Yeah, because last year they were disappointing, I think, for a lot of people that watch their team because of how damn good Justin Herbert is and how close some of the games were and their fans and how they played. They changed the game. Another year in the system, another year of the culture being set. Everybody has real high hopes for them. But I think like that's where the Dolphins might land this season is like a lot of super high hopes and then maybe not because the AFC is so stacked. But then at least you get signs that the culture is being set in the right fashion. Right, Goom?
That's what we want the most after all these years. We're going in the right direction is what I should have said.
You got to make the playoffs then.
Chargers started 5-2 last year, too.
Yeah, and since the Chargers didn't make the playoffs, everybody was like, these guys stink.
I mean, just looking at that Super Bowl, I can't believe the Raiders are plus 4,000. They went to the playoffs last year, and then they got
new head coach, right?
Yeah,
new
head
culture
coach.
yet again. That is something. The new head coach thing, you rattle up the whole building.
Yeah, but if it's a guy like Josh McDaniels, who's also calling the offensive plays, that's a big asset.
A lot of control on the outcome is what you're saying. How about Derek Carr and him kind of jousting their people? What were you going to say, Connor?
Well, I mean, but the pieces they added aren't like small, like, glue guys. Like they got Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones. Like Chandler Jones is only going to make Max Crosby better. Devontae's only going to make Waller and Hunter Renfrow better.
And Carr better.
And Carr better.
Man, they have a lot of
Josh
weapons,
Jacobs.
don't they?
Dude, their team is awesome to think about. Their team is
I need
awesome.
to go to a game. I want to go to a game out in that stadium.
Okay, FaceTime me when you're there. I got a self-ban.
I'll be with Jimmy Galante. You won't answer.
Well, I know something about Jimmy that you do. It's going to take him 5 days to get to Vegas. That's why we had to go to him.
He doesn't fly?
No.
Like John Madden.
Yeah, are you getting a Madden Cruiser to go out there with him? Man, I would think about doing that.
Did he get in a wreck or something?
I have no idea. I didn't follow up. I just said, oh, all right. And then
Travis Barker was scared for a while because he got in that nasty plane crash where DJ AM died.
I just saw Travis Parker.
Parker, you got
He's
it.
dating Courtney,
Courtney,
right?
yeah.
They're going to get married.
Yeah, they're engaged.
Hey, congrats to them finding love.
Love.
Speaking of love, Chris Mad Dog Russo is on the other side of this 6-minute break. We'll see you in 21 hours. Goodbye. Travis Pastrana. I saw him swimming with a python.
What?
Yeah, on the internet.
He needs it.
I thought
He's back already?
Yeah, that was my big surprise. And he's cut up, too, by the way. So I don't know if this is before the
Swimming with what?
pythons. And then Tony Hawk was at the goddamn Oscars with a fucking cane because he just broke his shit.
Him and West did the meme.
What's that?
So there was there was a meme of Wesley Snipes with crying with a gun and said, and the meme was, if there's ever a race war, me to Tony Hawk. And then Tony Hawk replied underneath, at the Oscars, Tony Hawk showed him it and made him aware of it, and then they took the picture together.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
That is
Tony
awesome.
said appreciate the hesitation though, didn't he?
yeah, that was his reply, yeah.
Hey, Tony Hawk, super cool dude, I feel like.
Feels like
Yeah, super cool dude. Still skating, by the way. Mm-hmm. Getting hurt out there.
I mean, Travis Pastrana is basically not even human anymore with how many surgeries and plates and rods and stuff he has in his body.
So Johnny Knoxville is our era's Daredevil, right? But Pastrana is our what?
Evil Knievel.
But isn't that what a Daredevil is?
Yeah, but Knoxville's not jumping buses and shit like that. I feel like, he does stunts and stuff like that, but anytime you introduce he's base jump, Knoxville's not base jumping and shit
so I
like
guess
that.
they do the similar things as Evil Knievel does, but he does it at a much higher level.
Mm-hmm.
So what is Knoxville then? Knoxville's just our
Mad Mike.
He's a prankster. He's a classic prankster. Too.
Yeah, right, but he puts his body, he does.
Yeah.
He does some serious shit.
He's like
a stunt man almost.
You got kind of.
So he's like our generation. So that's Travis Pastrana is our Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Knoxville is our generation's stuntman. Mm-hmm. He has a WrestleMania match I'm calling.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. I got to figure out how to describe him properly. I'm happy we're doing some research here.
Who's he fighting?
Sami Zayn. Oh, it's going to be insane, dude. No rules.
Anything goes.
He put his number out there, right?
Yeah, on a plane. It was good. It got thousands and thousands of calls and texts.
You think he told this guy that he was putting his number out?
Well, he did after he did it, yeah.
What do you mean this guy?
I mean, before. Sammy. You think he told Sammy?
No, that's the thing. You don't tell the person.
Got him.
Classic prankster.
It's like whenever Tom Green did it to Glenn Humplick.
Yep.
Tom Green's still doing it. He's out in a van vlogging. I see his stuff. He's a unique character.
Tom Green, pioneer in almost every single, I think, internet shows. I think he was like the first one.
What is Goompy? What do the Canadians think of him?
Love Tom Green.
Okay, good.
Legend.
What about Glenn Humplick?
Don't know who that is.
Justin Trudeau.
All right, let's go to the phone.
No comment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, speaking of Canada, I think Fanduel's coming to Canada.
Yeah.
What? That's right.
Holy shit.
Am I allowed to say that?
Ontario. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Wow. Dump that.
Too late now.
Foxy done. Fanduel's coming to Canada, though. I think next week.
Hell yeah.
All of Canada?
No, Ontario.
How's that work?
I assume they're going to have to do the same thing they do
Province.
in all the states. There's going to have to be some sort of lobbying and blah, blah, blah that has to happen. But we're getting into Ontario. I'm excited about that. That's a big deal.
Good luck getting into British Columbia, my friend.
What's that all about?
What happened there?
That's where I'm from. Tough crowd.
Yeah, if we get into Newfoundland,
I think it'll go East Coast to West Coast. If
What
I'm
about none of
correct. That's East Coast.
When's Saskatoon getting in?
Seriously.
None of it's East Coast.
I think Saskatoon's up over there near Dakotas.
Yeah.
Oh, so there'll be a couple months. No.
I hope a couple months. Yeah, is Saskatoon in Saskatchewan?
That's the one.
Well, in
Is that the capital of Saskatchewan?
Regina.
Of course.
But I thought they changed it to Saskatoon. Because no one, Regina, yeah, it's nice, but it's not fucking Saskatoon.
Change it, dude.
What about Quebec?
Could you imagine having a
Montreal?
Splatoon in a Saskatoon?
I don't think Fanduel wants to get into
A
Saskatoon.
spittoon?
Spittoon, there it is, yeah.
I think Gumpy just says anything that's not British Columbia is the East Coast.
He's
So
not
anything
wrong.
right of you.
He's not wrong.
And you live on the coast,
I
right?
was on the left coast, yeah. West
So
Coast.
anything right of you.
I've referred to Indianapolis as East Coast a few times when I first moved here too.
I'm on the East Coast. Because I guess you are
Change
technically.
time zones, right? That's
Yeah.
how I thought of it.
Shout to Canada, though.
Yeah, shout out.
it's
Gamblers
good,
in
man.
Canada.
Hey, they are good gamblers.
They are good gamblers.
They're good gamblers up there.
Hold on, Goopy. I got more questions real quick. Goop, so how do your friends from Canada or maybe some of your relatives or people that want to come here to America, how do they feel? Are they jealous? Are they mad that you're here?
No, everyone's happy for me, AJ. Why would they be mad or jealous?
I mean, I guess jealous because they want to come here.
America's sick.
Most people like it back home.
Yeah, dude,
It's a great place.
It's
I know.
beautiful.
Who lines your beard up, by the way?
Depends on a week.
Yeah, got a
God.
few guys.
Pretty serious up there. I like
He's
it.
got one tomorrow coming. I think a lineup coming tomorrow. Wait till you see that thing tomorrow.
Hell yeah. No, everyone likes Canada. It was just, I was there my whole life. It's time for a change. Change is good.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Oh yeah.
Any other Canadian questions?
I'll let you know if one pops up.
The World Cup draw is Friday if you want to know, AJ.
Hey, congrats to Canada.
Nice job, Canada.
That was a big deal. I saw Ariel Helwani talking about it.
36 years, my friend. Only the second time we've ever made it.
Hey,
So
congrats.
you're getting blasted in the first round is what you're saying?
Yeah.
No. We'll see how the draw goes.
Wait, why aren't they good at soccer?
Because they get, 1 month of sun?
Yeah, it's cold.
Play hockey.
Hockey, lacrosse, curling.
Yeah. It's a cold sport, I think, right? That's a cold sport world.
We should be better, though. Soccer is
So
huge.
should America, by the way.
Soccer's huge in Canada. Like, it's not like it is very big. We should be a lot better, but we are good now.
Here you are. Yeah, you're in the goddamn World Cup. You qualified before us. Now, we can forfeit our next game, lose 3-0 in the forfeit, and still make it in the World Cup. So we're in the soccer Lombardi as well. Here we go. Christian Pulisic had a hat-trick the other day. The GOAT has returned. 2 penalty kicks and obviously a sick slice dice meg goal inside the box. What an absolute stud this guy is. We're going in to win the Soccer Lombardi. And for the draw, Yins better hope you're not in the group of death. And let me tell you which group is the group of death. Whichever fucking group we're in. Okay? We're not in your guys' group. Yins are in the fucking United States' group.
That's right.
Bingo.
especially with the way this team's playing right now.
Hell yeah.
Hey, they got a little edge to them right now. They got a little.
What about the
juice.
girls' World Cup team?
We win.
Always.
But does it happen at the same time?
No.
Or they-
No. 2 years, I
Yes,
think.
you're right.
So it's because it's every 4 years, so they alternate.
Kind of like.
When's the last time the U.S. men's team won the World Cup?
Well, that's the thing about the soccer Lombardi. It's never come home before.
Yeah.
Let's just
Oh,
hope
really?
England and Canada aren't in the same group, or I could be in a bad spot.
Oh, you'll be torn? Yeah, don't worry about it, because if the United States are in it, you're all fucking out.
There you go.
So don't even worry about it, pal. We'll take care of that. One clean sweep, and it'll be Christian Pulisic's right foot.
That'd be the Queen's group.
15 goals.
Yeah, and then we would do what we did.
Exactly.
That's right.
Won't they have to face Ronaldo?
Won't have to face Italy. We know
Portugal
that.
plays
Wow,
today.
I
was gonna say,
The
Ronaldo.
thing about Italy is Italy didn't even make the goddamn World Cup.
Oh, no.
I'm a little bit upset because I am.
Yeah, why are you laughing?
Well, just
Actually, you
Wait,
should be proud.
they're already out though?
You should be proud. They forfeited their game because of the poor work conditions for the workers who were building the stadiums. So they decided to forfeit this World Cup.
No.
well, thank you for your
No
service, Italy.
misinformation on this program. We can't have that.
That's not what happened?
Nah.
What
they
happened?
lost to North Macedonia. 1-0.
What happens?
Macedonia?
Macedonia.
Macedonia
isn't even
beautiful.
going.
North Macedonia.
That league's bullshit, though, because if you lose one game, you're not in. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, well, the CONCACAF handles business. And the refs are a little bit crooked, I guess, and they say that in every single sport about everything. But Italy not being in is a big deal because we didn't make the last one and everybody buried us.
Yeah.
And now one of the Power Six conglomerates of soccer.
If you win the Euros, you should be in.
Yeah, but they just won the Euros. So.
Yeah.
That's 2 World Cups in a row they've missed.
Automatic.
Oh my God.
Automatic.
Canada's made more World Cups in the last 8 years.
Yeah, but they don't matter.
Automatic bid, you should be in.
They're just a filler.
When you win the Euros?
Yeah.
I agree. That means we would be in too.
Where is it being played again?
Qatar.
What is it called?
Qatar.
Is that how you normally pronounce it?
Well, I don't know if it's Qatar or Qatar, so I just put them together. Qatar.
I like that.
Where is the next World Cup after that one?
United States of America. How you doing, keeping
Hell
moving?
yeah.
So where will we play? Is it all over? Or one
SoFi,
spot?
dude.
It's
Here,
US,
Mexico, and
yeah.
Canada. North America.
Still in Mexico?
We're going to Mexico?
I hope not.
Zito just had quite a groan in my right ear there.
Majority of the games.
Not
are
in
the
Mexico.
US. Yeah, it
Not
is.
in Mexico.
No, it is.
Yeah, that was Mexico, Canada, and
Yeah, it's joint.
Zito's doing research back there. He says after the whole.
People getting
That's probably why I said that there not many people died, to be honest with you.
To save the World Cup bid.
Probably.
Yes.
Whatever. It's going to be down here, Lucas Oil, though. I bet.
Uh-huh.
We're going to see United States play against Portugal right here
Yep.
at Lucas Oil, probably, if I had to guess.
Ronaldo's coming?
Cristiano Ronaldo's coming. Did I hear that Barcelona is interested in Cristiano Ronaldo? Is that what I read?
It's Barcelona? No.
Who's interested in somebody? Barcelona.
Mbappe.
yeah, they want
Mbappe.
Barcelona's in on Mbappe?
Yeah, Barcelona said, "Hey, listen, we lost out on Messi because of we couldn't afford him, and we're moving forward. But we need to get back into the superstar game. Give me Mbappe out of France. Mbappe hates PSG out there. Mbappe." That's what they said at Barcelona.
Yeah, and after this World Cup, you know who Barcelona is going to want.
Who's that?
Pulisic.
Oh,
Don't you have to be born there to play in the World Cup on that squad?
Yeah.
well, yeah, he's playing here.
That's club, dude.
That's club though. That's like he plays currently for Chelsea, and they bench him and put him on, and they bench him and they put him on, and they play the games. But if Barcelona gets Mbappe and Pulisic,
Game,
set,
match.
Actually, rumors are Pulisic might be going to Italia.
really?
Does this guy know that Barcelona is a city, not a country?
Yeah, AJ.
Yeah. If you had to
Welcome.
guess, Barcelona, city or country?
City.
Nailed it.
Look at you.
AJ.
Yep.
Anyways, Barcelona is not in the World Cup.
Who pronounces it like that?
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Does Taylor Twellerman say it like that?
Taylor Twellerman?
He should.
Because I trust him in all things soccer.
That's your soccer guru?
That dude dresses nice. He's a lot of energy. I enjoy him on TV.
Yeah, but what about Tony Miola?
Tony Mioli's great too. He was a great
Whoa,
punter.
Jeez.
His name's Tony Miola.
It's Mioli.
No.
No.
Jesus.
Kicked off for the Jets. I remember that.
How about Alexi Lawless, dude? Guy's been on TV
Great on TV, too.
He's been on TV every single day that soccer's been around in America.
Yeah.
He has bounced from program to program. He is the authority on soccer, Alexi Lawless. He was a badass on the field, too. He used to really throw his body around to people.
What about Lexi Kaufman?
Alexa Bliss.
What? She is soccer analyst?
I don't think Alexa Bliss.
I just wanted to hear him say.
What do we do with the FanDuel Sportsbook thing?
They explicitly said, "Hey, she can't be called Alexa Bliss because this is not a WWE event."
And all you did the entire time.
My God, that's Alexa Bliss.
That's Lexi Kaufman.
Alexa Bliss.
Lexi Kaufman.
We did it about
We see you,
100 times.
Cabrera. Cabrera was cheering her on.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah. We really turned that thing wide open there for a couple different times. What a show. What a show. Good for Lexi Kaufman, though.
Yeah, she won.
Beat Emmett Smith.
And what if she got into soccer?
She's still wrestling. She's wrestling. Is she in WrestleMania?
Big fan of the Columbus Crew, she is.
Really?
Yeah. She's from Columbus.
Columbus has that new stadium. What do you call it?
Lower.com stadium.
Let's go. You ever get to a game? Take the kids? Take Axel?
I have not had the opportunity yet.
What?
We will.
Oh, so you hate your kids?
Jeez.
My kids would have to say, Dad, we would love to go to a soccer game.
Oh, they didn't know it was an option.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My daughter has been to a game.
You said go with somebody else. You want to go down there?
No, we were at like a basketball tournament with our sons, and one of her friends had tickets. Boom, she got to go.
Hey, they're great. Hey, Columbus Crew put on quite a show.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a program.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal down here.
Yeah, you need to get to it.
I know I will.
All right, we're getting out of here. 3:30, Hammer Down. YouTube.com/Hammer Down. The boys are looking to bounce back, AJ. They had a rough night last night.
Oh, they'll bounce back. I mean, their rough night is a great night for anybody else, I would imagine.
Oh, down years for me are career years for other people.
Bingo.
Yeah, I trust them.
I agree.
What are we betting on tonight?
Oh, big NBA slate, huge NHL slate. The NIT semifinals are tonight.
Let's go.
Wow, who's in that?
Texas
worry about
A&M versus
Don't worry about it. Santa Clara?
No.
Coastal?
I know the Bonnies.
Texas A&M versus Washington State, and
then
the
the
Bonnies
Bonnies.
got Xavier.
Prime time NIT matchups here. I can't wait to see who you guys pick, who you guys bet on, who you guys bounce back with. Because that's who you're picking tonight.
Exactly.
Remember, you're picking that horse named Victory out of the barn tonight. You're saddling that thing up, and you guys are riding again.
Putting up shots.
The Hammer Dahn boys ride that horse named Victory for a long time.
Well, they're pretty good gamblers.
They are.
The Hammer Dahn boys are pretty good gamblers.
Yeah.
They all love the Bengals. That is taking over the office, AJ. You know that.
Really?
Listen, you heard Mitt in the back. So just a throwaway comment from Gabe Morency, Super Bowl week, asking Sean Payton's daughter who she likes in the game. You know, the Hammer Dahn boys, they all got the Bengals, and they're good gamblers. Now, everybody is, no matter what they're doing, is either a good gambler or a bad gambler. Like whoever was shaving their pubes in that bathroom, bad gambler. These guys, a couple good gamblers over here.
Talk to Sean Payton's daughter?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's part of the...
Dude, this is one of those things that just starts cooking in this office, and then it just kind of takes everything over, and then it's like Gabe Morency had no idea when he said that.
No clue.
That it was...
What are you talking about his jacket? His jacket, as he said multiple times, yeah, it's like Evel Knievel, huh? And I told him that many times.
Go ahead.
The Hammer Dahn guys, they were all on the Bengals, and they're good gamblers, those guys.
Greatest compliment of all time.
Yeah.
Greatest compliment of all time.
The Hammer Dahn guys, they were all on the Bengals, and they're good gamblers, those guys.
Could have been said 1,000 times on Friday night.
What was her response?
I don't think she answered.
She did not.
Yeah, I don't know.
She actually
Great
went
gamblers.
to.
I was going to say, I don't think he gave her much of an opportunity.
Yeah, she went to respond, and then, you know, the Raging Redhead cut her off, and then Morency cut the Raging Redhead off.
I'm not sure she 100% knows who the Hammer Dahn. How about the way he said it versus the way the Raging Redhead said it? Just two. Hammer Dahn. Hammer
Dahn boys.
Run that one more time. Run that one more time for Gabe Morency.
The Hammer Dahn guys, they were all on the Bengals, and they're good gamblers, those guys.
It was said Dig said 100 times. That might have been that might have been said 1,000 times on Friday night when we were out in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
A pool shot would go in. Oh, good gambler. some random person that's at the bar, has a look. There's a pretty good gambler here.
Yeah.
Just everything, and then bad gambler.
Bad gambler.
Bad gambler. Oh man. Hey, Fanduel's coming to Canada.
Here we go.
Good gamblers. Good gamblers. Hey, Canada, good gamblers down there. All right, we're out of here. We're back tomorrow. Thank you to Darius Butler. Thank you to Sam Roberts. Thank you so much, AJ. You're a good gambler.
I don't think I am.
I think you are.
You are.
We need Fanduel in Ohio, then I'll see if I'm a good gambler.
You are a good gambler. Tone Diggs is as well. You guys will bounce back. YouTube.com/Hammer. Back in 17 minutes. That's Hockey Talk tonight, 8:30.
Yeah, special event tonight, 8:30.
Okay, special event hockey. That's Hockey Talk.
Okay.
YouTube.com/That's Hockey Talk. I do not believe the Cato Kalin edition of That's Hockey Talk has come just yet or tonight, or I don't know if that's been booked at all. Maybe Nick and Cato did have a lot of conversations.
He loves Zito. Cato loves.
Yeah.
Oh, another guy that ends in an O in their name. We're buddies.
Yeah, we're good gamblers.
All right, we'll see you all tomorrow. You are the best. Use the hashtag PMS WrestleMania Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
And say something nice to
Austin Theory.
No.
What's your problem?
Gabe Morency.
Flood.
just say something nice
Coach
to somebody.
JB.
All right, maybe to Coach JB, maybe to Gabe Morency. If you'd like to say something nice to Austin Theory, like fuck off, but you can also do that. Just say something nice to somebody. 5 days from now, I'm living out a dream. Let's have a good time.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Woo! Hashtag PMS WrestleMania Tuesday. That's PMS WRESTLEMANIA TUESDAY. Also, your cash tag in there. Say something nice to somebody. We'll pick 2 more random winners to win $5,000. So $10,000 being given away yesterday, 2 $5,000 winners today. Same exact thing on this countdown to the WrestleMania, the most stupendous WrestleMania of all time. I'm very lucky, very thankful. Thank you to all. Great show, boys. Can't wait to watch Hammer Down, and That's Hockey Talk tonight. Goodbye.